Greetings, family, greetings, one and all. Welcome to Jamaica Celebrity Talk. My name is Peter Lloyd. This is Peter Lloyd World. Tonight, what we do at Jamaica Celebrity Talk is we document the stories of those Jamaicans who are and have and will continue to make impacts on the entertainment industry in Jamaica, all aspects of the entertainment industry in Jamaica. Now, I know that in the US, this is a holiday weekend, which is where most of my viewers are at this point. But what we also do is we break up the interviews and share them out through the coming week. So tonight I have, hey Bestie, what's going on? Tonight I have two remarkable artists here with me. Two of my favorite artists, a king and a queen, remarkably talented people. But first up, we're going to bring up a young lady who I have known for a little bit. And really one of the most talented persons that I have ever had the pleasure of knowing, speaking to, talking to, etc. I think one of the things we need to realize is many of us, our stories are being documented by persons who are not Jamaicans. And so I just decided that I would do this as a medium of documenting our stories. So first up, we have the amazing, the beauty, the super talented, the remarkable, the goddess, herself, the one and only, Althea Hewitt. Althea, what's going on?
Well, as you see, Medea, hi everybody. Big up on yourself. Thanks for joining us on the live, wherever you're streaming from. Bless up on yourself. Peter Wagwan.
So we're good now. We're good. We're good. As I stated earlier, most of my audience are Americans and this is an American holiday. So, but what we normally do is we break down the interviews and we share them out throughout the week. And I'm just very happy that you said yes, you and your management. She seems to be a very professional person. Then I said big up and bless her.
Of course, my leader, Harry. Perfect.
All right. So I invited you on because, you're one of those artists who I met some time ago. I've seen you evolve and grow. You are so multifaceted. But what is really remarkable to me about your career are the peaks and valleys and the peaks and valleys. And your peaks just get higher and higher and higher. And you have some exciting stuff happening to your career right now. You have an album out that I absolutely love, that I stream very often, at least twice per week. I absolutely love that album. And so I want you to just tell us a little bit about Althea, your background, where you're coming from. The question that everybody asks at first.
It's funny. Yesterday I was in an interview and I started off by saying, the year that I used to climb a mango tree and almost fall out of, nearly broke up myself. I probably wouldn't be seen today. I was saved by a limb. Thank God. It was a beautiful growing up process, actually. My mother and dad, migrated from Mandeville, came to Kingston, lived at 10 Langston Road. And then my father is a musician who taught himself to play guitar. Stephen Hewitt was also playing with, back in the day, Hippie Boys band, another legendary band. You can go check that out. And then he formed his own little, small band called Mighty Clouds. And they did a lot of small band, They never had no horns or anything. They had the drums, the bass, the guitar, the keyboard. They said, like a Congo man come in once in a while. Around the back of the house, where they would rehearse, because I had a little room beside my bedroom. Our bedroom, but with all like 7 of us, we were like looking over, because those old time buildings that we used to have, the houses had those little top pieces with the things that you can peep over. So we used to just peep over, watching the rehearsal, or as GT Taylor would have said when he was little bit, boy, it's like that nobody could have hold me from running from the front, because we were blocked off from the back,
Right,
running
right.
from the front of the house to go around the back half naked just to go around there. And there's a lot of big men around there, you know, and
Mhm.
Rastaman and ganja and all kind of something that go on because you know how music stays. So I was always attracted to it from a child. So yeah, basically it's in my blood, it's in my brain, it's in my skin. I get it full fledged. So I grew up going to Rollington Town Primary School, and there my first passion was dancing.
Mhm.
And, you know, they used to have the JCDC festival things, them, and we enter them, they enter us, and it's a little like a folk thing, and the mellow go round and all of these fabulous things. So I used to enjoy myself as a child. Leaving there and graduating to Camperdown High School, I continued dancing and then started singing at barbecues and concerts there and started to let my voice and took a chance.
I didn't know about the dancing. That I didn't know
Yes,
about. I knew about the
yes.
barbecues, but I didn't know about dancing. I didn't know that's where you started. So okay, so you're going to barbecues. You're at Camden High School. You're
Mm-hmm.
popular at school, right? You're
Yes.
from family of musicians. When when does Althea say, you know something? You know, some more want to sing for a living. I just want to do. When does that
Well,
occur?
after a couple competitions like Teen Star Search, I used to go around the various high schools, secondary schools, and I entered. I came third, and then when I did my 6C and passed it, and one day my cousin, Auntie Vona, rest her soul, she said to me, "So, what you going to do with yourself now? You know, what you choosing for your career?" I said, "I'm going to sing." She had a good friend that lived next door. She
Yeah.
called her, you know, carried me over to her, and she said, "Ask her what she want. Ask her what she want to do." So, you know, I proudly said, "I want to sing." She just say, "You
Yes.
have to go to high school for sing." And I'm like, you know, I was
Mhm.
gonna, back in the day, nobody not take that something as serious. It's a hobby
Right,
thing,
right,
right?
right.
'Cause remember back in the day, the family would come over if you have a piano in the house, you'll be playing for your family, and then you'll be doing your other career if you want to turn some doctor, teacher, like whatever it is. And I
Yes,
go
yeah.
say,
I
me a
mean,
sing, sing
singers,
on me want for turn.
yes, singers were the dunce people. Them dunce at school, so them done singers. That was the idea then. Mhm.
Oh my lord! So
What was your family supportive since they themselves were artisans and musicians? Were they supportive?
my my mother was very supportive. Every competition I went to, um, every performance I did, it was either her or my dad. My siblings supported me. I mean, there was never a time I can say, boy, maybe back in the day when my father was very like, boy, I don't know if he want him daughter to get in this thing because he knows how rough this business
Right,
is.
right, right.
But he has never really said to me, no, don't do it. He
Mhm.
has always been there, and I've, speak to him, and I used to get, if I want any understanding on something, I would talk to him. So, but no, I did not get any negatives from my family, and the Hewitt family have always been supported, which I'm very grateful for. Living there, I started doing little things, like modeling, and then I was in little people and team players, and so I learned how to act and dance again,
Mhm.
and tap dancing and miming and sign language, and I was like, this is some good thing here going on, some nice
Right.
honing and grooming, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And after that, no, doing the high energy master mix, recording my first song with Richie B. Um, Outside of one song that I did with my dad, we did over Sweet Love. Um, that's pretty much how my whole recording career started. So in between that, you're doing a little, you're doing the graduations, you're doing the concerts out there. People see you in the paper modeling, but something, people just call you, you just go do them. And I moved on from there into a group called Fourth Street Sister because the manager, John Alexander, came over to ask me at a show that I was doing at RGR
Mhm.
Property. And he said, you know what, I tried to put together a quartet and I have this concept. And I said, and said this would be great because there's nothing like it in Jamaica. And we spoke about it, and then I had a couple of friends that I started talking to, asking them if they wanted to be a part of a group. And then we started that. It took about a year to get off the ground because, you know, you have to learn the songs, you have to learn the harmony, find the right people, the right spiritual connection. Because you can't have four people in a group and you're not you have to have a deep connection. The harmonies come across well, the performances go in sync. And when one person leaves, it's like, you're stressed because you're like, oh my God, where am I gonna find another person like this? But then you find somebody, they have to groom them and you have to teach them all the harmonies all over again. And all of those experiences, I've learned to do theory, I've learned to do music theory, and I've learned to do different harmonies, different structures in harmony, different moves and things. And then it went on, we changed females, oh my God. And then this went on for like about 8 or 10 years. And then I entered a body fit competition.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember
right.
that.
So I'm always kind of entering these little competition now and again, and it gives me a chance to actually diet, lose a little weight. Because sometimes over the years, you get a weight. I love food. I really do love food. So for watch it all the time, it's kind of difficult. But it's back and forth in the gym, and you work out to do your thing. I came 7th in that competition. Then I moved on to doing left 4th Street Sister, did some background work with Bushman on Tour.
Okay.
And that's about 2003.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to interrupt you. 1 second.
No problem.
Welcome, everybody. This is Jamaica Celebrity Talk. We are talking with the one and only amazing songstress, studio engineer, backing vocalist, singer, songwriter, producer, Althea Hewitt. I'm just excited to have her. Let me big up some people. Sylvia, thank you for being here. The book of them, big up yourself. Blessed one, hey sis, what's going on? Vern's Young Closet, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna hop in now. I'm gonna jump in. All right, so you leave 4th Street Sisters. Now, I remember you were and continue to be one of the most attractive women in the game. And you were in the business when it was completely male dominated, male producers, male performers, male everybody. How did that impact your career? I mean, I've asked other women, were you solicited? If you were, how did you deal with it? Did it impact your career? Did it help? Did it create problems?
Well, on that note, I mean, men are going to be men, as far as I'm concerned. If you don't know yourself and you go get lost up in it, that is your decision. My thing was, after being in the music scene and seeing what happened, I have garnered a lot of information. So I knew how to handle myself, and me quite feisty. So a lot of people never liked me. I was just too bougie, as they say. And so I kind of kept to myself. I'm that kind of person who will step in and then I will just close up, because I like my space to be positive, and I don't like when I see certain things and I read certain things, I kind of just take myself out of it and leave it alone. So even if somebody is soliciting or trying to find ways to manipulate, I kind of just
you're good.
I don't, I wasn't that hungry. I was always working because I've been doing the cabaret scene in between, and was quite comfortable because I was working. So
no, that's an interesting thing though, because you've gone into something else that I wanted to bring up. I'm happy that you were able to cope with the situation, and it didn't impact you negatively in terms of a male-dominated industry, which by the way seems to have changed almost completely. I mean, it's almost, there are far more female artists now than there are male artists, which I really don't have a problem with one way or the other. Now, 2 things I wanted to get to you. You were singing in a group, and I've always seen you. We've had these conversations personally. I've always seen you as a solo artist. Like even when you were in that group.
Yes, you did say. You did say.
Yeah. What did you enjoy the experience of being with a group? Because I mean, I know, I won't get into me, but what was the experience like for you? Did you enjoy that experience?
I enjoyed it because you know what? We had a lot of good, we had a lot of ups with
Mhm.
the little downs and the little, response to each other personalities because
Right,
there's gonna be personality clash.
right,
There's been girls in the group that I would never be out there and meet them, and they would be in my friend circle.
right,
So you have to understand your space and what you want to allow in it. So we had friends in the group, and we had people who we work cordially with. And
right,
that's how I used to say to them, listen, let's focus on the work. And the
mhm,
most important, we're trying, this is what we're trying to do. Keep the focus on the work. Let's get it done and do it professionally. And that was my main goal. So I used
right,
to play mediator because, well, Jesus, the manager used to say, "No, Jesus,
right.
listen, we had, as I said, we had our iffies and our wondering,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe we should leave, maybe we should stay. Because I mean, like 3, 4 times, like, the girls have changed and I've still remained constant.
Right.
So, but after a time, it gets old, you know?
Mhm.
It gets old
Mhm.
because do you want to teach anybody more, all the moves that you did, that you want to teach them more the harmonies? Because trust
Right.
me, it's a lot of
Mhm.
work. You
Mhm.
have to learn these things like the back of your hand, and it's not easy. And after a time, it really got like, I
Okay.
can't do this no more.
All right. So that's probably one of the reasons why you left and went solo. The other thing now is
Mm,
that I remember, I don't know if this still happens, but there was a point, certainly in my own career, where people were saying to me, you are an international artist, you're touring and you're singing in the hotels. And I used to say to them, maybe that's why I'm probably the best live performer in reggae. Because I was singing in the hotels.
yeah, you can perform, man.
You learn. I mean, at one point I was doing 30 shows a month. So you
Hmm.
literally better be able to perform. Was that your
Hmm.
experience? I mean, did people look down on the fact that you were doing cabaret while you were pursuing your recording career?
This is a problem with the people them in the music business. You have to understand everything is work.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. It is just under the umbrella of work. You could be a cabaret singer, recording artist, a corporate singer,
Mhm.
you just do it in the arts, like you do classical or what. It's the same. It work. It's hard work. You have to still train it. You still have to know what you're doing with this thing because it's part of your body. The vocal cords is part of your body. So whatever you're doing with it, you have to know. You have to be aware of what you're doing with it because you can destroy your vocal cords just like with you, you
Mhm.
said you can lose your vocals. So
Mhm.
I was very concerned about those things, even though at a point I started smoking and I loved my liquor and everything. But
Mhm.
I made a decision. I said, listen, this ain't gonna help my voice in the future. So I said, this gotta go. And
But
that was that.
don't you think another, because one of the other things that I've said this to a few younger artists, I find that a lot of our youngsters cannot do a show. They don't understand the concept of a show. They understand the sound man thing where you run out and you sing a two big tune and you go so. Right. But I mean, I know, like, for instance, when I'm doing Europe, I'm doing 3 hours every night.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I kind of think one of the things about you that I remembered is that seeing you live, I mean, you're a natural, but also you were able to create a story on stage, and we followed you, we stuck with you, and I think that's one of
Hmm.
the strengths of you becoming also doing cabaret while doing all
Yes.
these other things.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so 3 years ago, you kind of disappeared, and then 3 or 4 years ago, you came back, and you just started to drop these bombs. I mean, people. I love Stronger. I love Black.
My Black is
My
Strong.
Black is Strong. I mean, there's so many great songs. You just literally exploded, and I started to see you everywhere. And I personally was saying, what happened? What you when you there was this lull because I knew you did something with VP. You put out 2 albums with VP,
Right.
were great albums. But
Actually, one
one
album.
album,
Introducing Althea Hewitt.
right,
Yes.
right. What brought you back fully into the game? You never left, but there was a little lull. What happened?
Um, After being pampered and treated queenly at Copper Tower Airs for 3 years, 4 years, I went back to Kingston, linked up with this producer, Altafan, Anthony Senior, actually, Altafan Records. He started sending me rhythms. And I just started writing. And I was on tour with Israel Vibration. That also inspired me a lot because I was saying, wow, I love the stage. I don't want to be behind here. I want to be on the front of the stage. Why am I here? Why am I? I don't want to be behind anybody. Okay, so I started considering the material that I'm writing. And, you have to dig deep and see what you really and truly believe in. And I started writing that material in 2014, 15. 16 going on, I just, trying to grow and learn about me, loving myself, standing. Because sometimes you get a bit distracted with a lot of things that's happening in the world and people. And so I try to pull in and try to say, okay, who am I? Who is this girl? What do you want? Do you want to go back out there? Do you want to face the music again? And I made that decision. I said, you know what? After observing and being on the outskirts and even learning the whole studio engineering thing and learning how to write properly and producing and all of them, it's like, I think I'm going to take a step outside of the studio now and go out there again and, do my best and see what happens. And that's what really occurred.
So you kind of came back with, because what I realized is, and you know that I've been a fan forever. I'm just one of those people. I've always been a fan. You came back with like a fire in your belly. May I tell you? I mean, it because I know that you did a few covers and stuff. I think the VP album was mostly covers. Am I correct?
Yes, it is. It is.
Solid album. But when I first heard Stronger, people on Africa streamed the album. They just streamed, just me. Althea Hewitt, Stronger. There was a fire. I mean, as an artist, because people don't realize that most artists' career is peaks, valleys. Peaks,
yes,
valleys.
Yes.
And if you're fortunate enough, the peaks get higher than the valleys each time. You came back with a fire. What was different this time about Althea? What happened? Did you just say your time is running out? Did you just get to a place where you said, listen, I have all this music locked up inside of me and I want to talk? What happened?
It's about pretty much everything that you just said. It's about representing me, representing my dad's I should say his long time in the music business. I want to represent him. He taught me so much, and so many other people in the business that I've come across that I've learned so much from. Trust me. And I said it was, it's due diligence to give back and go out there. And, a lot of people really did expect it to be out there. So, long time, because where are you? I can't see you on the scene anymore. What you doing? Yeah. So I said, I need to step out now. I need to step out now and just do what I got to do. And I just made that step. I just made that decision.
I think your fans like myself, we are very, very happy that you made that step, because you've been putting out some great, consistent music, which you are co-producing and or producing yourself and engineering. Okay, so as far as I know, you're the only Jamaican female engineer that I know. I don't know. There may be others, but you're the only one.
Of course. I'm hard. Yeah, one or two. I think I'm Pamal, yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But why engineering? How did you end up there?
Um, when I was on tour with Israel Vibrations, right, I spoke to the engineer and I said, you know what? I want to learn something different. So tell me what to get. So I got it when I went back to Miami. I
Mhm.
got the stuff, started learning it, I taught myself and on YouTube, of course, um and that's where that started. I took my time. No, I'm trying to learn to mix and master and all those things.
To learn, you seem to be doing
Um
a very good job based on the stuff I'm hearing. I don't know if you're learning.
I'm learning because there's
I don't know about
there's
that.
so much. In every field you have a lot to learn. So you know what? I just figured that in the background, I just take my time to do these things because it helps you in the end, because you have an engineer that would be working on this song and mastering it, and you can hear and know what you need on that song. And when you have all these, band members coming to the studio and they're putting together a song for you, you actually know what you're trying to create. So
Yeah.
it does help. It does help a lot, being that I get a little experience with in the background. I see what a lot of them go through, especially when y'all have artists who can't sing and them have to fix the voice. You see what you see,
Right,
I would
right,
be,
right.
I would be in the studio, I remember they call you to do harmonies and I would sing the harmony and they say, Althea, sing it again, but you're kind of slightly off. And I'm like, so we can fix. I said, no, 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 don't fix it, don't fix it. Let me sing it again.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
now, learning this, I'm like, if I sing something slightly off and I hear it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fix this. I'm not doing this
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I can I can understand exactly what they go through when they're in the studio. So um, I'm really grateful for that.
So it's
I'm really
only it's,
grateful.
it's only been a great addition to your already many facets. All right, what
Yes,
was your experience with VP Records like? Because we have heard so many mixed reviews about VP.
I know, right?
What was that
But
like?
we really I never had any problems with them. We signed a
Mhm.
distribution deal,
Yeah.
right? They never
Mhm.
signed a artist management distribution deal. So
Right.
when
Mhm.
I was a little naive back then because you have your manager then who looked after whatever, and
Mhm.
you're not um understanding of what is in the contract and what is expected
Yeah.
of you. Even
Yeah.
though I wanted to put mostly like original stuff, really and truly, they wanted a cover song album.
Mhm. Right.
But
Mhm.
I got in a few originals, thank God. Bob Cooper and Dwight Pinkney produced that.
Mhm.
I'm very thankful to VPs. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my first album. So, it was a learning experience. You understand, and anytime something like that happens again, you cannot, know what to expect
Mhm.
and how to work with whatever situation that they present to you.
All right.
That's why it's good to have lawyers and accountants and all those things.
Now, one of the purpose of my doing this and why I decided to do this particular series is because a lot of younger acts call me and talk to me and ask my advice about stuff, and I can only tell them so much and no more. And I wanted to be able to give persons a view of the arts because we do authors everybody here that is
Yes,
from the unique perspective of the artists, whether they are artists TE or artists SIT. You know what I'm saying? Right.
yeah.
Um, the negatives, what have been some of the challenges you have had um, in this industry that even in the best of times, even if you're Beyonce and you're doing, I'm sure Beyonce is having her moments where she's saying, what the hell am I doing at this? What has been some of your personal challenges?
I mean, there's been some times that you don't want to sing anymore.
Mhm.
You get a little frustrated. And you're wondering why did I choose this to do? I could be sitting in an office
Mhm.
with people.
All right.
I mean, but
Like what kind of things have you gotten frustrated about the
well,
industry?
like first of all, you understand that you need money. You
Mhm.
need money, people, to
Right.
produce them tracks. And then when you produce them tracks, which costs you umpteen amount of money. You know, you have to get it to play on the radio, and then some of the DJ them, you have to pay them, and some of them, well, because of connections, they probably will play it, or just genuinely want to play a song because they sound good. No, that was one of my problems with the music industry. Why should I, after all of this work we've put in, but just want you to hear the song and tell me, is it good? Is it not good? Can you play it for me? Right. Seriously. And over the years, that was one challenge for me. Otherwise,
you're talking about what is called payola, right?
Payola, right? Yeah. So I, then finding out that the connection section of things connecting to, because you remember they started to do this clicking where you have a set of artists in a one group and another set of artists in another group. So you come alone now and you have the one rhythm and 10 dozen people on it. And I did not like that concept because I'm like, it worked for some people, but it's not everybody it worked for. I tend to want to be different. I want to have my own rhythm. I'm kind of selfish them way them. But like depend something nobody else not depend.
So, so is this one of the reasons why you decided to basically produce your own stuff, do your own stuff? King Carey, big up yourself, blessed love and light. Thank you for stopping by. This is Peter Lloyd. This is Peter Lloyd World. My name is Peter Lloyd. This is Peter Lloyd World, and I'm interviewing Althea Hewitt, singer, songwriter, model, actress, studio engineer, back in
too much things.
Keep going and going and going. And we have coming up, so this is the Queen, and then coming up we have the King himself, Mr. Carey James, better referenced as the Carey James. All right. So is that because one of the challenges I've heard many artists speak about is the whole thing about payola. But you do know that when a record label signs you, they have a budget just to get ready to play.
I know, right? I know.
Literally, right?
I know about I know, because when I look at the Beyoncés and the Pinks and the R. Kellys, and you look at those productions that they do with videos and everything, sweetheart, remember, it's not like it's free. I think a lot of us are a little naive about this thing, you're signed to a company. Whatever you do is costing you.
Right.
So at the end of the month, whatever you want to go driving at the big limousine and go carry family on vacation and tour with them. Remember, say, when it done at the end of the month, money will come out of whatever it is.
They're collecting their money. Yeah.
It's business. It's business.
So your frustration came from the place that most local artists' frustration comes from. BSCD, big up yourself. He says, big up to all, Peter, Steph. Say you about that, yeah. So, BSCD from.
Of course, I know BSCD. Bless up yourself. Hey.
Yes, we need to talk to because I want them to talk to a great live bass player. So, okay, so the frustrations you're talking about are the frustrations that many of us as artists go through on a day-to-day basis. Jamaican people that said donkey said the world on a level. That's really what you're talking about.
Yes.
Because I also know of other situations where artists have hit songs and they can't get booked on a show for whatever reason. A person have a song that's selling like crazy, streaming like crazy, but it can't enter no chart.
Yeah, some of these things are kind of weird. But you're like, okay, there's some people out there that they're working their magic.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm just sorry that we only have this amount of time. I'm going to ask to wait until the end of the show. What's happening new that's coming out? What's happening?
There are two things that's happening. I'm in a Jamaica Popular Song Contest 2021 with my song Jamaica Nice.
Jamaica Nice. Okay, so repeat that again.
Jamaica Nice. It's Jamaica Popular Song Contest 2021. And that's the festivals. We are in the festival season, Jamaica festival season that goes right into Emancipation Day and Independence. So
Wow,
people, we will
that's a
talk
big
some
deal.
more. Yeah, but I'm taking it easy because it's for me personally, it's about the journey. It's not about the end. It's about all that has happened. And trust me, we could have talked yesterday. I had divorce because the weekend was video shoot. Wednesday was my aunt's funeral. And the
Mm,
driving up and down is the Thursday me crash because me not drive regular. So when me
mm,
actually go on the road, so even before I came on, I was sleeping
mm,
because man, I had to sleep because I had a terrible headache. And I said,
mm,
Lord, Lord, please. But I'm doing this interview, no headache, so I can have a good time.
Well,
So that's
I'm
pretty much it.
happy. I'm happy you decided. First of all, you dropped news on the show, which is very few people have heard, and I wish you the very best. I know you're going to do extremely well. People may hear the song already. They
Thank
told
you.
the song hot shot. If people like Bojo and Michigan and Freddie and the late great legend
Toots. Oh
Toots
my God.
had not entered last year, because it's great to have artists like yourselves, also popular artists, entering the popular song contest, as well as
Mm-hmm.
other great artists who are festival artists. Why did you
Yes.
decide to do this? Why did you decide to do a festival?
Well, it was when I listened to this song that I had from September 25th, 2019, it
Mhm.
had all the elements about Jamaica. And I said, I should really enter it. At first it was with Capleton and it was bad. And I said, I call Miss Kemp and ask her, but he was a bit busy. I said, you know what, all right. Then I was on Facebook one day and Oliver Millwood said, no man, forget about that man, just go write a tune and
Mhm.
put it tell us something man. And
Yeah.
I went off in my head and I said, but hold on, there's a little piece him do, so let me just take him off and just finish the song.
Nice. Big up
So
yourself,
I
Capleton.
said,
Big up yourself. Big up yourself.
but hello, the fireman.
Yeah, this the song shot though. I'll tell the song shot. All right,
You guys need
people.
to hear that version too.
Please go and stream Althea Hewitt's music. I'm serious. A stronger album. That's the name of the album.
Stronger.
Yes.
That's the one I executively
yes.
produced. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Me personally stream this album very, very, very often. It's one of my favorite albums. Like I said, in the promo, let us prevail by getting stronger, right? It's wonderful to have you here. I have to have you come back, right?
Thank you.
I have to come back. I have to come back. Because we never really get into yeah,
Nitty-gritty.
Yes, yeah. People we've known each other for a while. I am now 22. She's 19, and we met when she was 17. So, thank you so very much. I'm going to ask you to just hold on just for a little bit. I'm going to bring up this other artist. Thank you so very much. Remember, people, you can find her on Instagram, I think, at Althea Hewitt _ yes, at Althea Hewitt _ go stream her music, please. Go stream her music. That's how you support us. Go buy her stuff, go stream her music. When you see her live, go and support her. This is one of those Jamaicans. She has held the flag high. Remember me tell you, tour the world, amazing artists, and I am honored to have hosted you here on Jamaica Celebrity Talk. All right. So me love you. Me love you.
Love you too.
All right. Oh, thank you so very, very much, Althea. Just hold. Don't leave. All right. Okay. So we just spoke to the amazing, multifaceted, multi-talented, beautiful, smart, sexy, everything, amazing Althea Hewitt. Really one of my most favorite female artists. Jamaica don't lack talent. Hey, Virgin Closet, love and light to you also. Blessed love, BSD, blessed one. Okay, so next up we have one of my most favorite younger acts. The first time I heard his music was in 2020. And I literally saw the video being promoted on Instagram, when streamed it, and literally went and bought the album. on Apple, and I stream it constantly. I just absolutely love this artist's talent, his writing capacity, and what is remarkable about him is that album that I bought that I thought was remarkable. I've seen his writing skills improve exponentially since then. So we're gonna bring up right now one of my favorite artists, and another king like I and I, the great Carey James. I don't know if I must call you Vic Carey James or Carey James or King Carey James in the Lion. What's up?
Greetings. Give thanks for having me, Blessings to everybody who are checking out.
People, thank you so very much for being here. If you notice in the ad, my boss, I say, let us prevail by getting stronger. I don't know if you're aware of the impact your song is having, but I'm seeing persons sharing the song on Instagram and saying how the song is inspiring them. I'm literally seeing this, and that's an amazing thing when people start and I don't think it's people even know. They're just using the song. A young lady I saw from Houston, Texas the other day. I said, yo, what? Tune go on. Turning on the radio, I hearing you constantly. I hear the big bad DJ them play some of my brethren them. The song is remarkable. You are truly prevailing, and especially in them time we need this song. Before we even do anything else, please tell us a little bit about the origins of the Carey James.
All right. Well, Carey James is my name. The Carey James is, the artist, the person who create music for the soul, the product, the business, the Carey James. I am from all over the place in Jamaica. I grew up the early years in St. Elizabeth. Then I did the high school years in Mobile. Then came to Kingston for Hewitt. And
which Mobile high school you went to?
Only one high school, Mobile, man.
We are talking about Thailand?
No. The great Cornwall College, man.
Cornwall College.
Yes, man. Only one school, Mobile.
Yo, big up. Very good school. My nephew went there. I mean, it's not as good a school as Kingston College, but it's a good school. It's a solid school.
Your nephew and I was in the same class.
He told me that the other day. I said,
Chris.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, man. Good youth. I can say that class you're all overachievers. All of you are literally overachievers. So big up. How did Carey James get into music?
Music is something that's in my bloodline. My father is a musician. My father used to also be a gospel artist. Play numerous instruments, and that's my father's side. Almost everybody from my father's side are musician. And on my mother's side, you have quite a few musicians too. Her father was a music teacher. So the music has been ingrained in me since I've been young. I remember my early years in a St. Elizabeth after church every Sunday. We used to go home and take out every pot from underneath the cupboard and find all of the toothbrush them when I beat Joe.
Nice.
So that was way back then, and went through high school, started making rhythms and things for myself, and I just developed over the years until I got to this point. Yeah.
Were you one of the high schoolers? I mean, I started singing at KC. Were you one of the high schoolers that they sing everywhere you go, you sing till everybody know you as a singer?
No. To be honest with you, I started making instrumentals. But I can talk it honestly. I never have no plan to become an artist. My goal was to be a producer. And what happened is that I found myself, especially the UE years, people would call you and, yo, I have this great idea, and put in the hours, build a rhythm where you think already. Then them going to somebody bathroom, somewhere go do a little thing and do a recording, and them not put in the effort to make it good, and I don't think them did respect the work what me I put in. Yeah. And then after that now, I started writing lyrics to the songs, writing lyrics to the instrumentals, and then at one point I said, well, I feel like I write some better lyrics than some other people that will link me for the rhythm. So we started as a group of people, youths making rhythms. Myself, my virgin, Sam, and about 3 more we at Hewitt. It was like 5 of us. A couple of us started to do vocals together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we started this thing we call it Pandemic Records, and then a few of us started performing and call it Pandemic Jamaica. So it's Pandemic Records, Pandemic Jamaica, a group where we had the vocals and things. We did like one song first, and then a couple people move on to 9 to 5. Then another outside person came in. We did another song or 2, and then the thing, it just wasn't working, and everybody just drifted. But I never gave up my dream of establishing myself in music, and the more and more I created, the more and more I started exploring vocals, exploring writing lyrics, and after a while I find myself got to a voice training school for the learn how to utilize my voice. So a couple years ago I couldn't do not way I hear me, I don't know.
Well, I mean, your approach, what you're describing is a very unique journey into the music. It's very different. 1 second. Yeah, this is Jamaica Celebrity Talk. My name is Peter Lloyd. This is Peter Lloyd World. I see some people here in the building, and I know they are here to see Carey James. I see Tanise Thompson, Daniel Cox, Excite, Jarrett, etc., and some other people. BCD, King Kali, Althea, welcome. Thank you for being here. You said Huey. First of all, which hall were you associated with? Let me see for the right hall.
No, it's not one of the original traditional album where you would know. My hall was we a group of us got onto that hall because of the connection that that person had with our high school. Saying it was kind of marketed to us at the school as the hall connected, the hall wear the same colors kind of college. So the maroon and gold. So we got
it wasn't the KC
and that
it wasn't the KC. No, it wasn't the KC hall. You know which one of the KC hall, right?
Yeah, but my school have as much power upon the hall there as KC. KC have powers in the streets, but from the levels, But I don't have a hype, but not as big as I think.
I don't know if it's a hype still, but it really is. What did you study at UWI? What you studied at UWI?
Yeah, I did a double major in economics and statistics. So, it was more financial based and
okay, that's really interesting.
Numbers.
That's really interesting because I noticed when we first spoke casually, when you agreed to do the Royals and we had a few conversations, I realized that your brain didn't work like many artists' brain work, in the sense that because you just said a few things that are not normal. You said, I went to get singing lessons. You said, and in other words, you're making conscious, deliberate decisions about moving forward with your career. Okay, so you have the lessons. The group didn't work out, and you decide to go on your own. What was that initial journey like?
The first step of the journey was actually deciding to try something on my own. At the point that I was doing vocal trainings, I wasn't really sure about the whole idea of doing something on my own. And I remember in 2017, I wrote this song. That was a wicked year for me, depression and all kind of something. And I remember me write this song called Mistake. And I was trying to get the whole group thing together and trying to get it for go out there. And I remember I linked the group mate and it never worked out. And then I remember at one point I messaged my virgin Martima. That's before everybody knew about Martima Superstar. But I not even realized that the day me message Martima Mother's Day because them having youth and thing.
Right.
So that never worked out. And so I try to get somebody to sing the actual thing now, and me do like a DJ thing. I I remember I got to the voice training class the Monday, and the teacher looked at me and said, well, when I say why you look for somebody else to sing the song, you're gonna sing it. And right there, it just clicked and him say, yeah man, you're gonna sing it. You just need to prepare yourself, but you're gonna sing it. And then I started trying to get discipline. I remember my brother Dr. J from Renaissance used to run the hills every morning. And for 12 weeks straight, every morning I go to them. And in most of the evenings, I used to run the park in Amona. So morning and evening, because I developed discipline. And I got push myself to become what I try to become. And then in that summer now, it was just about trying to get fit, trying to practice vocals. And then in about September, I started recording. That November, December, I had my first song, Take Me With You, completed. And we put that out in that time frame, and I've been pushing out songs since. Most of the songs I produced them myself.
Carey, I'm going to say this again. Your journey is unique. Most people I know many artists, probably thousands at this point in my life. Most artists tend to drift into the situation and just run at it. It might have been the statistician in you, or because all the things that you're telling me, because you're right, discipline is extremely important to succeed in the arts. If you don't have discipline, you're gonna waste energy. The entire approach is unique, and all right. Those years, I know most artists, especially male artists. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to the female artists, but a lot of us as young male artists, we go through a lot of challenges financially. We go through, people discouraging us, etc. Did you experience anything like that at the beginning of your journey? And if you did, how did you cope with it to be able to get to the point where you're prevailing?
Well, you remember I said to you back in 2017 was a rough year. Yeah. That was another moment where I was doing the vocal training, and then I had a job and a bunch of things going, and I ended up jobless and everything, So I practically built myself up for a few years, and then lost everything in that one, within a month I lose everything. So you're talking about depression, you're talking about backed up bills, can't pay no bills, you're talking about stress upon stress. But the one thing I had to look forward to every week was that one vocal session. And even if I couldn't find no money to buy food, I used to find $100, pay the taxi fare, reach Ligan, and maybe more from Ligan go all the way around a Barbican. No people don't know that, but that was a really wicked time. But we used to always go, even if I'm hungry, we used to go have voice training, because at that point that was the only thing we would have to look forward to. And then, it was a mental thing now to slowly make another step to rebuild yourself, not just in the music now, but overall. And it was a lot of work to do that, but it's all about the mind, so that's kind of how I have the drive that I have today, because I know what it feels like to need to dig deep to find something to save your own life.
But and that probably explains the type of music you are writing and putting out. The Uptown Tenement, yeah, that song, the whole album, there's a sense. Hey, Nadira X, Manda Adore, blessed. Thank you for being here. The kind of music you're putting out, could you think Carey James would have been able to write that if you never got through that tough, horrific year? Because the thing about Prevail, I can tell you this, is that I don't like comparing artists. But for me, Prevail is kind of like when, I think in 2017, 2018, Assassin dropped Winner. It's the same energy. The country need a song like that now. I mean, literally need it. Do you think that what you went through, sharp, focused you on writing songs about upliftment and what I call, they used to call it conscious music at that one point, but that's a reality.
I don't think the situation directly influenced me writing the songs. The situation influenced my character, my development as a person, and that in turn, kind of controls my mindset towards music, my mindset towards what I want to put out there, and my creativity. I remember, I always say I can't write a happy song if you're sad, and it's time to write a sad song if you're happy. Yeah, you have to really good. I write a sad song being happy already and it worked, but you have to really know you have to do them something and pull it off. So it's really and truly about what is going on inside here. And if you never experience an uptown tournament here, it's hard for you to just pick up and sing that. Yeah. If you never know what it feel like for have to motivate your own self, you maybe can't sing it. If you don't have any goals and any dreams, you can't sing about self-fulfillment, what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, so music is an expression of what is going on within. And, that is it for me. So all of the songs them written for me first, and then hope that other people can identify with what me do. But the music is for me. Me listen to my song them to motivate myself. And so it's not for anybody else first, it's for me first.
Now, we were fortunate enough to get you to perform on the Royals in concert, and you did a few things that I wouldn't say surprised me, but made me proud of you. You put a band together. You gave us an amazing set. It was just it was real. It was honest. And at that point, I said, wow, this art, I think I even said it to you. I say, I think you have a great future in this business. There's something about your approach to the business that you get it. At your age, you have already learned what most artists learn when they're in their 50s. That you have to invest in self, and you have to invest in a real and pragmatic way. And then you have to find persons who will invest in you. But I've also noticed the music from Uptown Tenement Yard, which I thought was brilliant. This new stuff, it's like your writing ability it's just exploded. What I'm saying is that album was it was a great album, well written, but the stuff you're writing now, I don't even know if you are aware of it. I write a lot of music. It's remarkable. The stuff is remarkable. And what I'm noticing is that you're just growing. How do you explain that? How does Carey James explain within a 12-month, 24-month period where you came up with that album that was a great album? The stuff now is just remarkable.
I would put it down to the structure of how we're making music now. So everything that you used to hear before, or most of what you used to hear before, was produced by myself. I responsible for, or not just me, because I can not mention the rest of the people that were around me. Messam and all of the other people that will help out. Not tell the whole heap of things for help me. Daniel were there on the live, the whole even help me for write, because I don't have a problem with having people assist me with writing songs either. But the new project now, which is with More Love Music from Italy, is the first time I've had a producer call me and say, Carey, just listen to rhythm. And I listen to like 100 rhythm. And I'm sit down with a pen and paper, and I'm just watch me on video call and write down my reaction to every single one. And then we go back through and say, all right, then one year I see you get the reaction to. And we picked out like 10, and then we worked it down, and we ended up with 7 songs. And then I now had the opportunity to freely think about writing and creating. And even then, we were working together with the concepts. A lot of the songs are concept songs. Self-fulfillment is a concept song. You pick a topic. What does that topic mean to me? So it goes back to what I used to do at school when I used to do a lot of English literature.
Right.
And I took back what I was learning, then the comprehension ability and all of that, and just put everything together now and focus on a concept, and then build the story from scratch all the way up to that point where it's supposed to connect. So this was the first opportunity I have had in my career where I never really have to worry about nothing else but just writing a good song. And I guess it means that the sky is the limit, because if I am able to sustain having a little bit more of an easy situation to create, then I guess the creativity can only improve.
But even your vocals and the way you utilize your vocals, self-fulfillment, you've sent it to me, and I fell in love with that track immediately. I was like, yo, this bad.
Where
I didn't hear Prevail. I sent me Prevail. I heard Prevail, and I was like, yo. When I heard Prevail, for me, it was like I said, when I heard Winner, or when I heard Smile Jamaica, Smile for Me Jamaica. It's just one of those songs that connected immediately. So not just your writing capacity, but your vocal mastery is also good.
I'll put that down to engineering, as in not necessarily engineering, but working in the studio with somebody who take them jobs seriously. One thing I have about me, right? If I write a song and I have a demo and I sing it a particular way, and I go into the studio and the engineer look at me and say, Carey, why not try it that way? I will try it. I will not tell you no. I'm going to try it. If it sounds better, it sounds better. If it don't sound better, then we say, all right, let's revert. And
again,
yes, the willingness to learn.
Yeah.
Right. The willingness to learn is one thing, because I learned a lot from World of Music, even just in the writing sessions that we did. That's the guys I'm from Italy. Them have a whole different understanding of how to do music than us. So you're taking a little bit from them, you're taking a little bit from what you learn here. You're listening to other musicians, and you say, oh, even the structure, even the start of the song, Prevail, you notice me start straight into the punch mood. I never used to do that before. That's something that I just learned. I just understand why certain songs hit. That's
an old time trick, what we used to do.
But I never have nobody to teach me nothing. So one of the problems now is for the younger youths, who is there to guide them. So I never learned that from nobody. Me just come across it and say, oh, that's how it works. And then
you hit the punch first.
And then I went into the studio now, the whole of the song and voice at Pot of Gold, which is Richie Stevens' studio.
Yeah, man.
And
I've never been in the studio, but I hear it's a very good studio.
Yeah, man. And Richie Stevens' engineer is a young youth who have a whole heap of experience. Right now, is Richie Stevens' engineer, Alkaline engineer, Bugle engineer. Everybody, I had this man to find, because him talented and him taking work serious. So, me and him develop a little rapport now where we become bridging, and when we're in the studio, him like work with me like work with him, because once him say, Carey, try it that way, one thing is, me nah say no, I gotta try it. And then sometimes he look at me and laugh and say, boy, we say we are gonna do it a certain way, and when you're going at the booth, it is something totally different.
But you see, that I think that's a strength for an artist. I think my friend Nadira X, hold on there. Dwight Davison said, bless up Carey James and Sir Peter Lloyd. Big up yourself, sir. Blessed love and liking. One of the things that I have noticed, Nadira X, she always says, the ego cannot be a part of the creative process, because once the ego enters the room, it can create a lot of issues. Just like you said, if you are not willing to open up your mind and listen to the song, or try to do the song in a different way. All right, now, Prevail, self-fulfillment, Prevail is doing well. When an artist is on the cusp, because I think you're right there, what's going through Carey James's mind right now? Is he saying, I hope that this song really works, or is he saying, boy, the song will work, so we just have to keep pushing? What's happening to you in this moment?
it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I can't deny the fact that the song is doing well, especially locally.
Yeah.
Internationally, I've always gotten played on radio and stuff like that, a lot more than Jamaica. But this is the first song that actually went into circulation seriously in Jamaica. So yes, you have to say, yeah man, something will go and good. But at the same time, I'm not a person that feels entitled in any way. So I don't believe that a song will just go and get two played on radio and you're just bust. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of work that we have been doing, and a lot more still to be done. And I don't rest on the laurels, everything I got good. I can't do that because, as I said earlier to you, you miss your one chance, another youth out there wait. Everybody an artist now, right? And Jamaica have a whole heap of talent. It's not even like the youth them the sound good or the girl them the sound good. Everybody bad. So if you are gonna get a little opportunity, you have to make sure you run with it. And right now we're doing the best to run with it and make sure it's work.
But you're doing something. Sorry, you're doing something that is that I recently spoke to another artist who had a track that was doing really, really well, and within a week, he put out 2 more songs, and I said to him, "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" And he said, "No, that's how we do it now because people attention span is limited." And I was saying to him, "Yeah, but Mr. Shaggy, Sean Paul, and Spice are right one tune now for about 7 months because they realize the potential of the song." I'm hoping that your approach will be like that, which is because you have a song that I think is right on the cusp of being massive.
There's a little bit of a mixture when you think about those things because the quality of what we create as music generally in Jamaica right now is not the same as it was before. And the consumption of music worldwide is not the same as it was before. So I understand what the artist is saying. You have some artists that build them career by releasing a song a week and the numbers add up and them start make some money. And then you have a situation where enough of them artists they will do that. Them have songs and them have numbers and them make money, but they don't necessarily have a hit song.
Right.
It's hard to hit a song if you release a next song the next week for killing. Right? So it's about what you consider the potential of the song is. And even then you have to give every song a fair chance. I'm not going to say that it helps to try to push one song for 6-7 months unless you have a serious amount of money in these days. But I believe that every song should get a chance. So maybe a shorter release time, but at the same time give each song a chance. Because releasing the thing is, as the artist said, right, people attention span is a little bit shorter now. But what happens is that each time I release something, let's say you have 100 people listen to you. Each time you release something, you might be certain of 100 people to go listen to that something. Right. The problem is when you have one song and you only have 100 people listen to you, how many times you're gonna get the 100 people to listen to that song? Yeah. So it's more mathematics now than music.
So you're saying it's really about it's volume. It's about volume. It's
right.
About
so to all right, I can't tell you say I have the formula because I'm still at a level and I'm trying to grow, but I believe that it's a mixture of both.
Yeah. Yes. 1 second. I've seen some new people in the chat. Nicholas Cox, big up yourself. Andrea Brooks, big up yourself. Dwight Davidson, Art of Love to all of you. One of the reasons, like I've said repeatedly, why we decided to do these interviews is to be able to, for the artists to document their truth and for us to also have a record for people who are coming up after us to be able to learn from that process. Now, you are artists in the age of social media. How has that impacted what Carey James is doing?
Yeah, but I ask you to just repeat that. I apologize to everybody. I think
no, man, that's all right. All right. How has social media? I'm saying, how has social media impacted you in terms of your career?
Social media, I am I think I got onto the social media train a little bit late. Because I was always more of a behind the scenes, make some music type of person. As I said, becoming an artist wasn't always the plan, but when I made the decision to become a recording artist, then I had to not only transform my person, but the way how I interacted with people, and I had to start utilizing social media a lot more. Even though I'm not as good on it as I'm supposed to be, but trust me, we're always trying to learn, always trying to improve, always trying to build. But it has been a major learning curve for me, because as I said a few years ago, we never even take Instagram serious. None of them something I ever take seriously, because I was saying, all right, I'm going to studio, make to rhythm, some artists voice on the rhythm, we promote them. I wasn't really taking that part serious. But as the vocalist now, you become the one at the front of the stage. You have to be seen, and I had to change the entire mindset and all of that, and decide to do it.
Yeah. Big up yourself, Lakeisha Wallace. King Carey, big up yourself. Last thing I have to ask you before. What's happening next? I know the album is doing well. Prevail is doing well. Is there anything that you want to tell us about what's happening next in Kerry James's rise?
Right now, there's something special that's about to come out.
Yeah.
Self-fulfillment, the title track, Prevail, the motivation. The EP is a 7-song project, and I think when I did the performance for Royals in concert was the first time that I ever disclosed that I was working on the project, even though we started working on it from last year this time.
Right.
So we were working on it for like 8 months before we tell anybody. That project, I can tell you, is going to be a lot different. People are going to hear some things from me that they never hear before. You're going to see me in a different light. There are songs on there that are roots, rock, reggae. You have one song that is on a what you would call a chop sounding beat. That song there, I got turn some eyes, but I have a good explanation for it. And then you have Prevail, you have Self-Fulfillment, you have a song that I'm going to tell you about it from now. It's called Rich and Lonely.
Rich and Lonely. That alone there, I like the title. I like the title.
Yeah. As I said, we went really hard on the creativity in terms of the lyrics of the project. We're going hard. I think this is my best work yet, and I expect it to be out at the end of July. I can't give you an exact date yet because we're still watching. To be honest with you, we're still watching Prevail, and determining how to focus the album, because you don't want to, do things too sudden and have a negative.
Well, I'm telling you, from my years of experience in the game, Prevail at the tune. Listen, years ago, I was in studio at Mikey Bennett's studio, and a young Taurus Riley and Dean Fraser said to me, "Which song, Peter?" They were pushing a song called Beware, great track. And I said to them both, "No, the song is She's Royal. That's the song." That's the song. And I'm known for that. I'm telling you, Prevail is going to be massive. Just keep it up. DJ Wright, Jared says, Kerry is really a good look. Big up Peter Lloyd. Carl Morris says, just keep putting in the work, Kerry. The hard work soon pay off. There's no doubt about that. Because remember I said to you last year, I see it. And I've really never been wrong. When I lie about that, I've never been wrong. I'm really happy that you took the time out to come and speak to us for a few minutes. I'm going to ask you for another 10 minutes of your time. People go and stream Self-Fulfillment, Prevail, Get the first album to Trust Me is a bad album. Get the music, stream both artists' music. You can find him quite easily at the Carey James on Instagram. I think on Facebook it's Carey James Music. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's the Carey James. So it's TheCareyJames. The Carey
Right.
James on all platforms except Twitter, which is the Carey James JA.
All right. So I am really happy that you both decided to talk to me. Now I'm going to bring back Queen Althea, and let me just say this publicly. I am a fan, and I'm not a fan of many things, and I'm not about the ceiling fan. And anyway, I can assist, sir. I will assist because I see greatness. I see greatness. I see greatness, and there's no doubt. Just keep at it. Don't ease up. Just keep going. Keep going. This business, like I said, is peaks and valleys. But as long as the peaks get bigger and bigger, and I'm not surprised because like I said earlier, the growth just in the writing, the vocals is remarkable. So keep at it. I'm going to bring in Queen Althea. By the way, is there anything else you want to say to close off your segment? You want to tell your fans or listening, anybody out there who's watching?
Well, firstly, for those here who haven't been able to check out the music video for Prevail, it's on my channel, official music video for Prevail. We did the video in Las Vegas when I was there recently. And, check it out, leave a like, leave a comment. If you don't like it, press dislike. I appreciate every interaction because that is what tells me what you are thinking. And
I'm going to ask you, why Las Vegas? It's a great concept, great video. Never saw that coming, to be honest with you. I never saw it coming.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I did not go to Las Vegas for music. I went to Las Vegas for work. Remember, I still have to pay the bills and things like that. So I still have to work and things. But when I went to Las Vegas, something just started to happen. One of the things that happened when I can't really talk about is somebody just knew somebody who work with a big rapper and a big crew. And them did fly to Las Vegas and them just said, Carey, you want to meet them? We went to the hotel and the man said, yeah, Jamaica, let me hear something, man. I played one song. Prevail. Prevail wasn't released.
And that was it.
And then after I played the one song, I was like, yeah, man, we have some roots reggae and thing. And the man said, no, man, you know, I've heard it. Right there and then, I have a song with somebody when they used to sip on TV. Hopefully it comes out soon, possibly for them album, which is a big thing. And that's when everybody there started to really say, no, man, something like one. Because they heard my songs and things like that and give them say, no, man, something like one. And then we said, all right, so the people them now start listening to Prevail, and them say, wait, we don't believe in failure. And them say, all right, you have to shoot a video out here. And we decided to do the video, and I represented in the music video the actual lives of the people we're seeing in the music video. Yes, a group of black men who come off of the streets and struggle and say them do business, and them in them office them are run them business, but because it's a private office, it's not many people walking in and out on a daily basis. The man them smoke them blunt them just the same. The Maserati was not a rental.
Yeah.
I want them on them car. So I decided that I wanted to represent them because my view of them was a little bit different before I went there on site. And it kind of changed my mindset towards how people can move from nothing to something in their culture. And I said, what better way to represent Prevail? In the music video, I see a man who drive a Range Rover and sell jerk chicken. He's a Jamaican. I drive a Range Rover and sell jerk chicken. You have people where decide so them are going to do something with themselves regardless of how you look upon them or where you think about them, and what better way to represent Prevail.
Well, like I said, man, there are times in an artist's life when it's happening, and it's definitely happening for Kerry James. I can see it. I've been around enough arcs. I've been through it myself, and I'm, very, very humbled that you choose to sit down and talk with us tonight. And may I say it, it ever happen, and it is actually happening as we speak. And I have never been wrong. I have never been wrong. So just you have the right mindset. It's the correct way to deal with the situation. And if you're not positive in life, it really don't make sense. You know what I mean? And the moment I heard we don't believe in failure, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the track. I feel it. And I think greater things to come. So congratulations, King. Full joy,
Give
full
thanks,
joy.
give thanks, give
And
thanks.
remember every part of the journey. Don't forget any part of the journey. And as soon as you can, please document it. You understand me? Because our stories are being told by other cultures and other people. And I see greatness in you. You get me? I'm going to ask you to hold on. Andrew Brooks says, so proud of you, Kerry. Wish you all the best. The best is left to come. I agree with you. And King Kelly said, ja timing. Very, very true. Matthew Burton says, I agree with Peter Lloyd. Keep at it. There is no doubt in my mind it is happening. Like I said, I've never been wrong. So, big up to you. Just keep at it. I'm going to bring up Queen Althea. All right. What's up, Althea? The rose
I'm here.
the rose amongst the thorns. All right. So normally what we normally do towards the end of the interviews, we have a quick talk about a topic that I choose that I think is important in terms of the arts. And what I wanted to talk about tonight is the fact that, tonight I was scrolling through my IG, and I saw a young lady who I'd never ever seen before ever in history. And apparently she's a very popular Jamaican local artist. And I was like, yeah, there are so many artists. And the truth is, I'm very happy that there are so many artists. But also the truth is, there are some people who believe that we have too many cooks in the kitchen. What are both of you? What are your opinions? Oh, one of the. By the way, people, if you're enjoying the content here on Peter Lloyd World, we do a lot of entertainment-based stuff. If you have not done it yet, you can consider hitting the like button, and also you can also consider subscribing to the channel. We have some great product. Yeah.
Can I just, sorry to everybody here who noticed me a little bit distracted. There was actually a recorded interview that was supposed to be on CVM right now, but they apparently said it's not going to be until tomorrow. They said that live on air, so I guess tomorrow for that. All right.
Cool. No problem. All right. So you are both artists in different points in your career. I think you're both. I also think on the rise. In the last 3 years, in particular, Althea Hewitt has just been. And in the last, same thing, 3 years, Kerry James is just. But we have a whole heap of artists now. In some respects, I am very happy about that, because I remember people, I can tell you, when I used to do a lot of stage shows in Jamaica, I mostly tour now. And I would feel like they are prison because pure man backstage. Pure man backstage. 20 artists, 20 band. There were no female artists. And the truth is, I believe it is necessary to have women in the industry because they create that balance that Jah said should be there. It's yin and yang. We need the male, that male power, that female power images. What do you both think about the preponderance of all these artists? Let me start with Althea.
Listen, man, they were always there. What is happening is because of COVID. COVID has just opened a lot of channels for a lot of people, and now you're seeing a lot of people expressing themselves through social media platforms. So that's basically what I think that's happening. They've always been there.
Mm-hmm. So you think they've always? So you just think it's nothing new. They're just showing themselves now. Do you think it's a positive for the business or a negative for the business, or it doesn't?
It's always a positive thing once you're creating. It just depends on what you're creating or what you're putting forward. If that's what you believe in and that's what you're pushing out there, if it works for you.
Carey.
Um, I believe that everybody in Jamaica is a creative in some way or the other. Um, Bunty Killer said it a few years ago that one of the problems in Jamaica is that everybody feel like they need to be the star.
Yeah, yeah,
Some people are artists, some people are songwriters, some people are artist managers, some people are producers, some people are radio DJs, but everybody is trying to be the star. And the fact is, for the better or for the worse, it's a lot easier now to become an artist. So, you know, people used to have to go into a studio and pay them money for the studio time and things like that. And to find somebody for mix and find somebody for master and all of that. And while my initial projects, them were you talk about, I that needed it because I didn't want a certain quality. You have a lot of people who are able to just look on them laptop, them buy them mic, them buy them headphone, them buy them speakers and interface, them do them thing. And the fact is, you can't really beat somebody for being creative, one. And two, if somebody does it and becomes popular, it means that somebody else likes what they're doing. And
right.
that
There you
means
go. There you go.
and that means you have to appreciate their creativity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to appreciate their creativity. And I have learned over time that just as how I don't like everything that I hear, not everybody's going to like me either. And we have to just look
True.
at it as a creative space. It's somewhat flooded now, but you have people becoming stars, and that means people are listening and people are liking and people love it. And whether or not we like it or whether or not we agree with it, you know, times have changed.
I saw a comment the other day that I found very interesting. I mean, I wasn't quite sure how to interpret this comment. Spice had posted something with herself and Shaggy, and it I'm trying to be very diplomatic here about what I'm about to say.
The
Hold on.
interview at
King
Breakfast
Kali
Club.
said, the number of people doing it causes good competition, and is the reason we are so good and influence the world. It's being harder to bust because you have to work harder. Excited says, big up Peter Lloyd, enough respect, Kerry, and enough love, Andrew. Daryl says the barrier to enter is getting lower thanks to technology and social media. So many platforms now allow
Mm,
artists to showcase themselves. Yeah,
Exactly.
I,
mm-hmm.
I saw this thing. Spice had posted something about go down there with herself and Sean Paul and Shaggy. And then I read something that bewildered me because I was like, is it that these people don't understand what's going on? The person said, our Spice dig up them two old artists. Eh? And I said, what? Do they not understand that the only reason the song is doing as well is because of these two artists? I mean, I'm not knocking Spice's amazing talent, but the powerhouse that a Shaggy and a Sean, I still don't think people comprehend what or who Sean Paul and Shaggy are. How massive. I mean, they've sold diamond. Outside of them, only Bob Marley ever even do that. I'm not even sure Jimmy Cliff did that. That
The problem is this.
yeah.
The problem is this. Not everybody is educated, and when I say educated, I mean in the sense of really checking out the levels that these people are on. That's one thing. Second thing is that it's hard to expect somebody that was born in the year 2000, for example,
Mhm.
um, that by the time them really start understand music, it would have been 2012, 2013, 10, 12, 13 year old,
Right, right.
to really and truly appreciate Shaggy and Sean Paul.
Mhm.
So the problem is we are facing a generational issue where the the connection is not properly made between what was the prime of our music
Yeah.
to what it is now. Because of that, Shaggy and Sean Paul might seem like old people to them, to the youngsters, because
Mhm.
they really don't know it. all right? They don't know it, and we cannot say that they're supposed to know it unless we put it in front of them for them to know it. So there's no history lesson available to the young people for our culture, right? There's no real museum available for them to go learn anything about our culture. There's no system in place for them to connect with what the past was. So them are gonna just grow up and listen to some young rapper and go buy a laptop and go do them own little thing because that's all them know. And we can't blame them. Right? I know what it feels like to hear Bunty Killer talk about pan drink back juice pan bass and I never want to kill back in the early 90s. Excuse pass my cellular phone, let me call and send it and see more. From back in them day, right? Me know that, right? And me know when Bunty Killer said, Bunty Killer giving you originality, but 2000 that, 99, 2000 that, and then it got all the way up years and years and years. Me remember when Sean Paul dropped Trinity. Me remember Jonah Gang Welcome to Jamra. The young people them now gonna know them something there. And we can't blame them for not know it because we not have a system in place to connect them with the past.
I have a point though. We have a problem from generation to generation where we put down each other. Like we put down the generations, so the music the fool, the music the when them come with that something there. When dancehall come in, everybody a put on dancehall.
True.
Same way when they did come in with the rock steady and the scan all and the generation before that, they say rock steady, a fool music that when them come with them something there for. And that is the problem. As you said, the knowledge has not been passed down. There's a generation gap. The information is just. And I like what you did earlier with Carey, that you said, make sure that you document what you're doing because it's very important that other people can see this while you're doing, how you're climbing, whatever you're doing. Because he keeps talking about PREVAIL and stuff. I say, you know what? After this interview, I have to go and listen to your stuff because I've never personally heard of you before. So I have to go and check that out. So you see, there's a lot of things too with other artists as well. They can be selfish. So it's that time now that people should realize that really and truly we should be working with each other on the different levels, trying to bridge the gap so that now the information can be passed on. Or it's like what them people, as they said, them just come out and them just doing everybody a singer, everybody a producer, and everybody a engineer. Everybody falls in different categories, and how they have to know this in this time, especially because of COVID. People just jump out from, trying different various ways and means just to get popular. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We just have to just keep the conversations going.
Well, what it is, I have to say this, the system has changed because when I got into music, I was an actor doing films all over the world. And when I got into music, I was able to go to, when in the place, man, where Stone of the distributed music, not Music Works. What thing the man?
Is it Penthouse? It's not Sonic.
No, Rye Place.
I don't remember.
See, we know the people that own the place, so sometimes I don't remember. But it's one of the great
my memory is not the greatest.
So I was able to sit down with a Sly and a Robbie as a little youth, sit down on the floor, on the mat, and watch them work and hear them speak in my presence and learned. I learned a lot of stuff. I was around Handel Tucker, one of the most successful producers in the history of music. I didn't say reggae, music. And all these people. And what I realized is that because I had that experience of going to the studio, Dean Fraser, all these people, that's why I became such an amazing vocalist. I can actually say I am at this point. Because I had these people, the mixing lab, thank you, BSD. I was there in the studio when Shaggy was recording Mr. Lover. So I mean but now, because people are at home doing their own stuff, they are not interacting with the greats. They're not getting an opportunity because a man named still on my house and Bill him rhythm. And the other thing I also can say is at the studio, one of the differences, and Carey said it in his interview, when you're in a studio and you have a Dean Fraser, you have a Sly, you have a Robbie, you have a Althea Hewitt, you have all these amazing creatives in one space. They can say, Peter, instead of you sing it so, you sing it so. I try this. So I think, so what happens is that in that creative energy, you have all these amazing people coming together to put together a song that is remarkable. But when it's one man I'm host on a laptop, I'm not saying he cannot produce amazing stuff, right? But I can say that most of the creative energy is going to be coming from this one man. And Carey said it, once he started working with other people. That's one of my concerns. I like seeing so many artists in the space because I'm hearing so many different things that my ears, the first time I heard Leader IKEA, I was like, yo, different. And then from her, I heard, oh my God. I'm trying to remember his name, but in DJ on one of the songs with her, and he just did something with Nicki Minaj. And I'm hearing all these different, all these different sounds, tones, artists. And I like hearing that. But at the same time, I think I don't want a situation where these younger acts, these remarkable talents, come up and make the mistakes I made. And that the man before me make and the man before them man they make. We really need to have a platform where a Kerry James can go to a Dean and say, Dean, Ray, what you think? You understand me?
But some of the times, what happens is that when you're doing a song, sometimes you think about budgeting and definitely making that step out to get those people in the space that you're recording in. Sometimes it's difficult because sometimes they're touring. COVID is still keeping, so now everybody's trying to break out right now. So it's good when you can actually have money and budget, and I think that's a problem with most of the younger generation. They don't have that kind of thing. And remember, back in the days, a man fell up by a door, wait for him chance to go inside a studio. So now if you can get that opportunity to just jump in and just do a thing for a rhythm and just, you go up on social media and this is you and you do this and you do that because you're trying to get a little a little thing out there that people can say, yeah, them see your face and them try everything. So it's not about, I can't blame them, they just want to be out there. They have a voice, they have something, and they feel like, the world needs to see me. So they're going to try everything, especially now with the whole opening of the internet and the different platforms. So,
well, I mean, aren't a lot of these artists following the example they saw? Cartel came along, super talent, can't take it from him. But Cartel came along and changed the rules. I remember Dennis Brown putting out so many songs that Dennis Brown, if him do a concert and sing all them songs,
God.
I remember Beanie Man doing the same, but then what Cartel did is Cartel came out and he dominated the space. He was putting out like 3 songs a day every day. He was dominating the space. Then now we also have people like a Jada Kingdom. The first time I saw Jada Kingdom is my nephew Christopher, who Carey know, send me a picture and say, yo, Uncle Peter, look on a girl at bottom. I'm gonna say, who is? I'm gonna say, oh,
exactly. They're finding the different ways to market themselves.
Yeah, but she wasn't singing. She wasn't singing. She was just an IG model. And then after about, I said, oh, I'm gonna follow her. And after about a year, somebody say, yo, she put out a song. I'm gonna say, a song? But it worked. What she did worked. So I understand that the thing about social media is that the processing is different. And I think for some of the older artists and older musicians, it is hard for them to kind of grasp what's going on. Because I'm going to tell you to honor something. My daughter, my youngest daughter and her friends, I have never seen them turn on a radio. Ever. Never. But them know every song we're at. I say one day, I say, oh, baby girl, how you know? She said, Daddy, we share music between each other, or they have these sites that they go to get the hot music. Them don't listen to radio. So it's almost as if it's all the people over like 25 are listening to radio. Nobody's not listening to it. So
it's becoming a bit archaic.
But so I'm saying it's a very strange, but at the same time, radio is important. Radio is a very important thing. So I think the process is changing so much. We have all these new amazing talents because listen, I'm not lying. Some of these people are remarkably talented. I cannot take it from them. Remarkably talented. The first time I hear Skilly Bang, I was like, just different, flow different, everything different, just different. And I'm hearing so many great talents. But I would love to see a situation. Maybe I'm being a hopeless dreamer where we can have those all these young talents and all the older talents in one room, sharing information so you don't make the mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes growing up as an artist. I did some dumb stuff. I turned down VP at a time when nobody in their right mind would have turned down VP, right? Because I didn't, and at the time I was very young, so I didn't understand what was being presented to me by Chris from VP in the office. I didn't understand. 10 years later, I said, crap, I probably shouldn't have done that. That was the wrong thing to do. And I don't want to see the younger acts making these mistakes, because this is how I see it. I think the more artists Jamaica produce, the more money we're going to make. The more money we're going to make is the less poverty. Less poverty, more
That
creativity.
is true. That's true.
Carey, you've been kind of quiet.
Now listen, you know.
He's listening.
The whole thing is changing, and remember the important thing, as you just mentioned, is the consumption of music is also changing. Right now, if you get a mix, your song, and you're not gonna listen to it on 2 earbuds and see if it sounds good enough, that, then you're not a song, because that's how most people consume music these days.
Yeah.
More people listen to your song through earbuds than they do through speakers, right? Because nobody now use no radio. Right? And what about the kids who don't drive? The kids who don't have a car, them take the taxi, or them drive their parents' car. But earbuds, cell phones, those are the new computers. Those are the TVs and the computers and everything of the new age. So you have to do everything to reach them in their space and ensure that it sounds good in their space and connect with them in their space. And the younger generation, the newer generation of artists are able to connect with the people in their space, because them in other generation they too, and it's easier for them to understand it. We also have to understand the difference with trying to do like reggae, roots rap reggae, and trying to go dancehall, hardcore dancehall, or whether or not you're going to do a hybrid, or you're do something where cross with dancehall and reggae and have a little pop, right? You have to be able to determine what you're trying to do, one, and then you'll be able to try and market it in that way, because guess what? The amount of money it takes to produce one reggae song.
CMT.
Right? The amount of money it takes to produce one reggae song, right? The keyboardist and the guitarist will play upon September, which is the one reggae song that me produce myself, 100%. Right? The keyboardist and the guitarist will play upon it. I'm a friend and them in a band, right? And then you have Unga play drums, you have the bass from Notice play bass, and you have the harmony thing done, Lyman Murray, and you go to studio and you pay for every session, for everybody do them thing, and you pay for mix and you pay for master. And that project cost me well over 100,000. Now me can get up and spend 100,000 every day producer. We make it different. Right? So
but you see, but hold on.
I
have to jump in because here's the thing that this is how I view music. I view music a little differently from most people, because I made a conscious decision about 16, 17 years ago to ensure that my music is sold globally. If you get what I'm saying. I've never hit the billboard, but I have stats. I've sold some decent album numbers. And one of the things that someone said to me who is in the know is that a lot of this new music, although it makes a lot of noise, it's not being streamed. It's not selling.
True.
In fact, the only two artists who have been selling out of that generation would be Lord have mercy. You'll have to forgive me now. Spice's new track. The new track by Spice. Because a number one album on the Billboard reggae chart people. Yes, but a number one album on the Billboard reggae chart, I sell 500 copy. I have had albums that have sold well over 100,000. So I mean, so I'm, and at the secondly, the only other artist who seems to be doing very well outside of maybe a Chronics,
Or a
is
protege.
or a Proteges. What's that young
Or
lady's
a
name again?
Damian Marley.
Coffee.
I'm trying to call all of them.
Coffee, right? Coffee. So
Coffee,
what I'm
apart
saying
from
is,
coffee, yeah.
we're producing a lot of music, but it's not being consumed by the global market, and that's the most important market. I can tell everybody that. No
But
matter
that's another topic right there, saying that's a. You remember, say we come from small Jamaica, so the topic there is kind of. We're going to talk about international, and we're going to talk about the different record companies and what roles they play in that market, because those are the people who control the market there. Okay,
Yes,
the Disneys
I
and
agree.
all of them.
I agree. Go ahead, Carey. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just want us to, with everything that we're thinking and saying, be fair to the artist. And when I
Break it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Hold
it's
on.
I'm
going to take him out and bring him back in.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So
man. No, man. The artists, them always a try and a push and a push and a try, but it's all about money. It's money and the connections that people have that make you reach certain positions in life. And Spice never take up herself one day and she's where she's at. She worked hard to be where she is.
She has been working really hard for a very long time. She has been working hard for a very long time. Carey is back.
And also the Sean Pauls and the Shaggies, they've worked pretty hard as well to be where they are at. They had to sign to different companies linked to the States or Europe or wherever, and that's when
but hold on there. But remember, yes, but you have artists who have done well, who are not signed and have never been signed. What I'm saying is, the point I was making is that talking to the person who knows the stats, this person, that's what they do. They say that the issue is with all this new music, it's not being streamed, it's not being consumed by the global market. And the fact of the matter is, as amazing as Jamaica is, and I love my country dearly, Jamaica cannot feed the amount of artists we have here. It's not plausible. So the music has to go beyond us. Carey was saying that we need to be fair to the younger acts, and I'm not judging anyone.
When I say be fair, it goes right back to the point that you're making right there. Artists were grew up in Jamaica, never leave the country yet, no what foreign look like, no executive, and just know say in like the music and him can do a thing and the people them on the ground like him, people them in community like him. That artist is going to function within his level of exposure. Right, so whatever he's exposed to is his level. Now, if that artist, male or female, starts to become more exposed, I don't know if you ever saw the interview with Popcorn, but I think it was an on stage way a long time back. When Popcorn said, "Wish him could have carry ever get a youth up and tour with him for them sister life greater than our region go on Jamaica," right? And that is one of the most powerful things you could ever hear a young artist say. Emotion could have bring every ghetto youth to experience something other than the ghetto, right? Because it would change your mindset so much that you would now understand that, okay, there's another level to go to, right? So what I'm saying is, let us be fair on the people who do not know about the other level. They're trying to be the here and the now. Right. And then let us take responsibility now as an industry to say, all right, Skillibeng, you're going good enough. We'll lift you up and put you to the next level. Who or what is doing that? Where is the system that is in place to do that? Jamaica doesn't have a record label, right? And Jamaica doesn't have a system of training or artist development or talent coaching to ensure that these people, by the time them start, them know how to conduct themselves in an interview, them know how to them understand say if you sign up for a contract to perform for 1 hour, you can't go there go perform 20 minutes and say, my people, my love, and run off. That's a breach of contract. Where's the training coming from? Where's the system that is being put in place? Now, me, here's one more thing, Peter, before you go back, right? Because a long time we answer that something. We have an industry that is dependent on the government to put everything in place, but you have a lot of rich people in our industry, and a lot of people who have clout in the industry. A lot of people in the industry who can do the things that we're talking about like this, but they don't. Yes. So the question is why? Why are we dependent on the government when none of us are paying a tax? Government not gonna help if nobody in a dance hall not paying a tax, right? So no, but it's true. Remember, now, most artists of Jamaica, when we're talking of most artists of Jamaica live off a dub plate, that's their biggest income, right? There is no way of tracking or taxing that.
That is true.
Right?
That is also
so if this multi-billion-dollar industry is not contributing anything to the operation of the country, why you think them are going to help you? Why you think them are fight entertainment from them? It's a very simple question.
I'm going to interject because I hear every point you're making, and you're making some very, very valid points. King Carey agrees with you. All right. First of all, the truth is we don't have an industry. We have never had an industry. What we have is, this is me talking now. We have a group of individuals who are very powerful and very influential. We have a group of people who can pick up the phone and call Sony. I know that for a fact. Or they can call David Radigan and say, yo, Radigan, beat that tune. Or you get me? Or they can call BBC. Those people exist within the confines of the industry, but we don't have an industry in a formal sense of the word, because you're right, we don't have artist development. I became an amazing live performer because of singing in hotels repeatedly live. So, and then going on tour now for 17 years all over the world. So I learned how to perform. I had no choice. So you are right. Everything that you're saying is correct. But I also think that social media is creating other problems, because as I said to you before, I learned what I learned by going to the studio and sitting at the feet of great men. You said it in the song, right? You have to literally sit at the feet of great men, because that's how I learned. And I think even in the recording industry globally, what normally happens is outside of your A&R and artist development, most artists to get there, Tess and Chin had Shaggy. She had her dad. She had her sister. Yeah. You understand me? I had a Dean Fraser. I had a Sly. I had a Robbie. I had these people around me who were able to say, no, youth, you make some terrible mistake. Don't do them thing there. Ace, what's going on? Ace, welcome. Great to see you. So I agree with you, because the question you're asking is a question I asked. People, we're talking honestly. I tried for years to go on tour. I did the right thing, meaning at that time, you had a group of people and they were the gatekeepers. Them keep the gate. So Carey James tune down the tape on radio unless them people they say, yo, that you are all right.
Carey music.
This is real talk.
That's true. It's true.
I couldn't tour. So I eventually went to someone who was going on tour and I said, yo, carry me. I'll pay for my ticket. I'll pay for my room. You don't have to pay me. Just let me sing 2 songs before you go on. And the person said, no. So one day I said, okay, let's go to the German embassy and say, I want a visa. I get a visa. I go to Germany. I saw me start tour. I probably was the first artist to do this. But just start tour. When I couldn't find people to produce me, I saved a little money from the cabaret, and I go to the studio and hire the big man them and say, because you're right, Mr. James, recording a reggae song in Jamaica is a very expensive process. Very expensive. So I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. So in some ways, social media has taken away the power of the gatekeepers, but at the same time, those gatekeepers are not going to help you unless they think they can get something out of the process. Why Why is that man
Hallelujah.
one? Him can't get you a deal with Virgin Records. You follow me, Carey? Him can't get you a deal because there are people like that right now in Jamaica. We have
Yes.
some people where and they're not the people that you think. I tell you, I know the little man.
Then I'm telling you, say hallelujah, amen.
Yes, I know the people that you think. You have some people. Me know a producer right now, right? If you pick up the phone and say to call Sony and say, "Hey, why you sign Kerry James?" You're signed. There's no question you're gonna be signed because we have those people in the industry. I think maybe the problem is those people are hardcore business people. So unless they see how they're going to get something out of the process, them not gonna help Kerry James.
It's just like doing a show, and if you don't have the numbers, nobody not hire you.
Yes.
And if you don't have no followers, forget about it.
That's true.
So
That's another
it's business. And I said it earlier. I said if you're not make the people them rich,
yeah.
no.
But you see, again, a lot of this depends because again, I went through a phase where I had all these hit songs, but they were paying me one salary, and then tell them now pay me no more money than that. So you know what I did? I put on my own show them. It's all right. I'm gonna tour by myself, but put on my own show because I think one of the good things about social media is that we have gotten rid of the gatekeepers. But I think one of the bad things about social media is that we have gotten rid of the gatekeepers because the gatekeepers the quality. That's what I'm saying. So sometimes I hear things, artists link me, I say, yo, the demo is a nice demo. And them say, no, the finished product. I'm say, no, you. That is not the finished product. That's a demo. Even if it played at Jamaica, nobody from BBC now play that. Nobody at Hot 97 now play that. Because they know the difference in the production thing. So I think there's a negative and a positive about both. But what Carey is also saying, I can't argue with you. Why don't
you can't argue with him neither because him said the right things a while ago because trust me, there's no foundation built here in Jamaica to facilitate anybody. It's not just a young artist, it's everybody. Anybody who in the business, even in the arts overall, there is no foundation, nobody to stand up for your rights or to help you or push you, show you the ropes. I had to do voice and speech. I had to train myself how to speak on interviews. I had to invest in my career. I had to push out, do my own show too. There's a lot of things. So you're on the right track. Go and do your thing, man. Do everything you can. Don't wait for nobody. And that's what Barry man said to me. So Althea, don't stop singing. Keep on singing. Keep recording. Don't matter what. Just keep doing your thing. No watch no face.
King Carey said some very interesting things regarding radio. He said radio is not archaic; they're just not changing with the times, and a stonewall themselves through free radio internationally, especially BBC radio. And you see Sean B and Tony T out here to work the field. And I mean, he's right. We really do have, and reggae music is not young anymore. Reggae music about 60-year-old. So I keep wondering when are we going to create a situation where
a different genre from reggae. I think dancehall is a different genre, but it has gotten a big fight. It has gotten a really, really big fight. I know they're having this.
What do you mean?
And then
the new dancehall.
Yeah, no man, not even the new dancehall. Dancehall has always, I'm gonna tell you, every time a generation comes up with something, there's always a fight from the generation before that says, no, that's a foolishness, and part of that is also where the gatekeepers are, because you have to know, say, the master try find a way to say, all right, then how we can work this into the international market, how we can, make some do for this. And then you have the crossover music that just now start happening the other day, like a hip hop thing where they use some of do. A lot of people don't necessarily gravitate towards it, but a lot of good songs have come out from it. And well, I mean, it's in Jamaica.
But the thing is, that's not new. What they're doing is not new. They think it's new, but it's not
true.
New.
No, but it's new to them.
Nothing that they're doing is new, right?
It's new to them. We can't fight that. It's new to them, Peter. You have to understand that.
I think what Carey said is very true. I think there's got to be a way, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this interview every Saturday. I'm trying to. if a young artist buck up on this channel, them can learn enough. Because I'm trying to say to this person, these young artists, male and female, look, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I was just bright enough to figure a way around them. But I made mistakes. I offended people without realizing I offended them. But then I also learned that I didn't need these people to get to where I want to go.
Yeah, but you see, you know what, Peter? You and Carey and myself are in different circumstances. We get a little education and we know a little bit about understanding this because we grow and we learn and we get the Ghana the experiences. These young kids are ghetto. Some of them come from deep ghetto. So them rough and them all them know is just to try and hustle and try to make a fast thing.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I do not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying all of them, you know. I'm just saying some of them is like
I think
that.
that's
You
an
understand?
excuse. I'm serious. I think that's an excuse. I'm going to tell you why. The most successful artists we ever produced came from abject poverty named Bob Marley. He couldn't know poorer than the poor. And even him, he figured out at some point, I cannot make music from a bridging them down the road. It not going to work. Bridging down the road cannot feed me, no matter what me think or say. Them can't feed me. I have to figure out a way for the music that more and more people can embrace or gravitate to for whatever reason, no matter how I'm going to do it. I just think at some point we have to realize that what we are doing is a business. It's not a hustle. A two different something.
Yeah,
It's not
but the part that you have to remember though, Peter, is this. And that's why I said what I said before, that we need to be fair on the artist then. Because you see, after them reach to a point where they have now gotten themselves into a space to learn certain things or to understand certain things, if they're still doing the same, then they can say, well, the youth and I really try to go to the next level. But anyway, a man get a start, he might take a start. It no matter how him do it, a man just want to get a start. And we can't bash a man find a way to get a start. And enough youth, TJ, right? TJ, the up top boss TJ.
Yeah, yes.
Did an interview with Winford on stage. I'm watch some of them things, so I hear what them have to say. And TJ said, sing this song was a violent and so on. And TJ said, well, you never hear the song I made sing before that. It was a positive song, but nobody know I hear that. And me have to eat. So me have to do what I can do until me can get out there. And to be fair with you, since him get out there, him start to him and I go say him change totally, but I hear you hear a mindset come in where him start talk about some reality things in our life and some positive things, and you can see the growth. So now it's for each person to be able to make that step forward. But every person has to start somewhere. And we can't bash how them start, because if them come from a community where badness alone them know, and them a try them by now. See you, for example. Me have the experience I start go see you now because of the same engineer me know. And when me go see you the first time, and me did it with him and him start talk to me and say, Carey, tell you this. Seaview is an industry for itself. You have artists, when buying a Bounty Killer, Shabba Ranks, Dexter Daps, you can name a whole heap of major artists that come out of Seaview. Man, the Seaview is an industry for itself. Your boss a Seaview, you're sure for boss. Man, say Dexter Daps boss a Seaview long time. Everybody a Seaview play Dexter Daps in a car. Every shop you're going to Seaview a Dexter Daps on a play before the rest of Jamaica here. And that's why it does blow. And we feel it just blow up overnight is because them have them own space there. So now an artist is going to do what works for him in his community, in his space.
No, but right? I think you're misunderstanding me. I am not talking about what they're singing about. That's not relevant to me. I love gun tune, I love all kind of tune. I have no problem with none of that. What I'm saying is I'm seeing a lot of artists make the mistakes I made the mistakes the man before me make. And I want that to end. I want it to stop. I want my goal and my dream, and this might seem, perplexing and impractical, is that I want every Jamaican artist to succeed. because I know what will come of that. I know that if we had produced 100 more Cartel, 200 more Sean Paul, 500 more Bounty Killer, I know how prosperous we would be in general. I'm not talking about a youth coming from the ghetto, because that don't really matter to me one way or the other, because me never grew up rich.
But what you're saying is very possible, you know?
Yeah, but I know it's possible.
One factor missing.
What is the one factor?
The one factor missing is assisted. Right? If you're trying to create so many superstars, there has to be a system of developing the superstars. That's it boiled down to.
Yes.
All right. So Edna Manley is there as a school, but how much artists you know about Edna Manley and those?
The money for go Edna Manley. Yeah, for
no, but how much of the people who actually got Edna Manley and can really sing? You know where boss. If I can name one, tell me, no can. Me no know.
Right. Agree.
Right. So the fact is, something is going on wrong at Edna Manley, because they're training a lot of vocalists, but none of them are boss. So there's a problem at Edna Manley. Right? Now the problem that Jamaica have is that it needs to start from one of our superstars, right? One of our superstars has to say, okay, I'm going to put a system in place, right? And we're going to have this system where if a young child, if Peter, like, you come from Mobi, all right? Well, you're there Mobi, me come from Mobi, right? As a young youth, me start play on the keyboard and start write some song and things like that. Where my father did go carry me to develop my talent now as a young youth who like music in a Mobi. Forget about Mobi, talk about deep rural St. Elizabeth or deep rural Westman. Yes. Where if a father have a little daughter and she can sing, what is the next step?
That rough.
But what is the next step?
But I agree. I'm saying that the point you're making is a point that I've been aware of from my 18. I realized that there's something missing. The only person I saw who came close to creating this was Bounty Killer. Because Bounty Killer was half of the artists them aware of now, literally. But I have said this to him to his face and publicly. He should have created a label, signed the artists them, right? And teach them to do the same so that when they get to a certain point, I don't at this point could have signed 10 other artists. That's what Snoop Dogg and the whole of them man do in hip hop.
But the fact is this, right? They have a culture of doing that in hip hop. The problem is Bunty was busting youths out of the goodness of heart.
Right.
Bunty wasn't a businessman. Bunty dropped out of school at 9th grade. Bunty wasn't a businessman. Bunty did just see the youth them talent and help some youth. Now, what about all of the major executive them where did they run Bunty?
Yeah, but I can explain that, Carey, because it's another part of the process. Remember, Althea and I said it when I was talking to Althea in the first part of the interview, that when you go good school, I end up turning singer, you either dunce or you what this, right? The Jamaican middle class and upper classes, up until I think it was Jana Bent and her brother, they were the first uptown people me know, and then we see Tessan Chin and Tammy Chin. In the 90s and early 2000s, I see them people there. Right? And I can tell you, artists, even doing well, could not go to a bank and borrow money if you do nothing.
Can't do it now, same way.
But that's what I'm saying. I had someone, a bank manager from a very established bank in the early 2000s, called me about a particular artist. Said the artist was trying to get a loan. I'm going to say, we had to give them the loan. But it's an artist. I'm going to say, yo, that man, they make $2 million from dub plate a week. What are you talking about? I don't even know why he's borrowing money from you. That person, that banker, she said, what do you mean? She said, you sure? I said, what you mean? I said, I'm not asking, but I did obsession them. So that man can pay you back more than anybody else around you. But it's the perception. What we're talking about now is something that is cultural. The people them over 35 see artists as worthless. May I tell you that? Or them think we are idiots. Or them think we are no sense.
You're gonna take up this thing, and do this thing where you go wear office clothes and go walk.
Or them say to you, yeah man, me know you're singing now, but then you need to have a backup.
Yes,
But
he did have a backup on
but
the
it was
list.
the same
Yeah.
problem. It was the same problem with track and field until you see in Bolt.
No, not Usain Bolt. Asafa Powell. It was
Asafa
really
started, yes.
Asafa.
Asafa started.
Yeah, Asafa and she just, what's your name again?
Veronica.
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 So those are the people. Hey Sid, what's going on, my brother? It's been a minute. Great to see you. Those people started to change the game. Because I'm telling you, the first time I went to a studio and I saw these, and I don't mean it in a very disrespectful way, but these brown skin, flowing hair girls singing, I was like, what? that was not the norm. So what I'm saying is that the system that we are criticizing, I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing it change, but it's not going to change overnight.
It'll take a
while. It's going to take a while before, because remember, before Red Stripe and these people start the Sumfest, other kind of people did I invest in a stage show. Me not say nothing else. Without them, the people who don't have no industry, so God bless them people, they may talk straight, right? So what I'm saying is the process is changing. The way I see artists like Carey James, the younger artists, you're approaching the business in a different way. My only thing is, at the end of the day, you have to create music that can be consumed outside of Jamaica. That's really important. You have to, no option. You have to create music that, artists where we are tour upon 3 songs. Because we have 3 songs where the world love. You get me? And I am hoping that a Carey James or Althea Hewitt or a Peter Lloyd will be able to say to a younger artist, because that's another thing to know. I need to say this. Some people said to me, some big man of the business say, "Why singer, them you mute and why you listen to nobody because them know everything." Right?
That is not true.
That's what the person said to me in studio. The person said, because I was saying the same thing. I was saying, "Yo, when I have all the information, why don't you share this information?" And them said, "Boy, them mute and all listen to nobody. They never do them thing." Right?
That's not true.
But Carey, what I'm saying is I am seeing hope. What I saw with Chronics and that crew, when you hire Chronics and 3 other man turn up, and I saw them build each other. They must say Protege now sign a couple artists and he's working. So I'm seeing a difference. I'm seeing it is evolving and changing. And we have to be honest. One of the things that we're talking about is the selfishness, the crab in the barrel mentality. Me can't help Carey because it's gonna mess up my move. Nonsense. Because I keep telling people artists cannot compete because nobody else will ever be a Peter Lloyd. No one else will ever be a Hewitt. No one else can be a Carey James. No matter what you think, you can't be. Because if you're not real, people not gravitate to you. So I think it's a combination of these 3 things. The business sector is just beginning to see that they can make money investing in artists. That's the first part of the problem. The second thing is that I am seeing, because of social media, I am now hearing artists that me never know. Althea, the first time I hear Carey James, I got to my phone. All I saw now, I saw the name. I said, Uptown Tenement Yard. I'm go so bam. I'm say, yo, the youth are bad. This bad. And that's how I'm discovering artists now. I scroll through the timeline, and I see something, I'm say, yo. So, because what this did is,
talent level high.
Yeah, it's creating space. My music, all my music was released by Blacklight Records vis-a-vis Sonic Sounds. We had no other way. I had #1 songs in Japan. We never know till 2 years after. There was no social media. We never know what was going on around.
We never know nothing.
We never know nothing. Yeah. But
remember we grew up in the letter era, so and the black and white coming up. So, when Carey James, get more of the technology that is of now. Yeah. So can utilize that, which is fantastic. So I'm very grateful for it, because if it was free, it's still Nobody would see me neither, because as much as me did sign to VP Records and me do my 3-4 years and say, listen, let me go become a one for record with other people. When they sign to somebody, trust me, you're locked down. It's like a thing, but them always say, them shelf you. So me never did plan for stay shelf, so me just come out of that and just continue doing it. So it's things like that now. People feel like such a big opportunity, such a wonderful thing that no. Sometimes these things actually mess with your timeline as an artist. And you have to be careful where you sign into. That's why sometimes I like also the independent artists them.
Look at Spice and VP. Everybody know it. Everybody know. Look, all I'm saying.
Oh God, she did them full time, man.
Well, I mean, but the new song is still on Spice, because you know every track that she put out, they still were VP songs, because she's still VP.
As you notice that she wipe off everything from this, just cut and go, and that was it. And then after that, no.
What I'm saying to you that legally, no. What I'm saying to you is legally. I'm telling you this.
No, well, that's true.
A still VP song.
But listen. There's nothing you can do about that, because you know it's a recording company, so they know how to get their money. You don't worry about those things. You just move forward and you do what she's doing. She's gone forward. She's in that what's the name of the show that she's in. She's a part of.
Right.
Because of that now, her career has just it's out of this universe. So she now can link up with Tom, Dick, Carey, G, and everybody and get her. That's how she was able to do. She have connections. She have a good team. Nothing can hold her. She's a very smart girl. That's what I love about her.
I mean, yes, and I mean that I have to admit that's one of the things that I am enjoying, seeing that a lot of our artists listen to Carey James. Obviously, is a thinking artist, an artist who gets it, who understands that this is a business. I want all of our artists to succeed, because I know that the more success we have in our business is the more money Jamaica make. The more money Jamaica make, the better off for all of us. And I don't think we should wait. I don't think we should wait on any government to help us. We have enough people in the private sector who have enough money, who can invest in an Althea, who can invest in a Carey.
I won't say a thing.
It's there. Well, I mean, as I expected, this has been a rousing conversation. It's always a joy to interview people who I have a huge respect for as an artist. Hold on. Battery dying. Oh, no, move. Hold on.
No, but definitely, trust me, I have a lot of people in this business who, as you said, the gatekeepers, that could have done so much more better than what they have done. So many of them, because you see them every day. I know them too. I mean, it's like, if you say anything too tough about them neither, you'll get lock off and lock out and know where to go. Trust me. So it's that bad. So you have to be careful what toes you step on.
I don't believe that, because like I said, nobody would take me on tour. I took myself on tour. Nobody would book me and book my own shows. So, let me tell you what I have learned. I have learned time waits on no man. We cannot wait on other people. I do not. The only gatekeeper I know is named Jah. You know about no other gatekeeper. You know what I mean? I am living proof that all of that is nonsense. I think it's just a matter of the headspace. Carey is right. If we are able to expose our younger artists to the wider world, then a man will realize that, when I tell young acts, when I say, listen, I own all my masters, make sure you own yours. Except, singer, what is a master? What that mean? The master is probably more important than anything else. Make sure that you don't give anybody a publishing. Don't do it. Right? When you try to speak, don't be in the studio recording a hot new song and stream it live on Instagram, because before you finish, Bobby might put out your tune.
But and copyright it too.
So I mean, I tell them, I said, join the PRSs, join the BMIs, join
the Bobby, you want to say?
Yeah.
My next artist when I started at Bean.
Oh no! Oh my God!
What I'm saying is that the thing is, we have to try and educate. And when I said that thing about them referencing Shaggy and Sean Paul like that, what it was disturbing, because I said to myself, that's like, those are the two most successful artists we have ever produced. We have produced since Bob and Jimmy. Like nobody else that they know them on the level. Them they want whole In other words, everything that's happening with Spice's new track is Shaggy. I know this for a fact because I know what really happened, and I'm not taking anything away from Spice.
But remember that he was in the Disney movie doing the voiceover in the so I'm still kinda. I think he's still signed to them as well.
Yeah, but it's what Carey is saying is right. There's a lot of ignorance. We don't know what's actually going on, and we are not sharing the information with each other because we were taught from slavery that we are crabs in a barrel and we are all competing with each other. If we all
compete with myself, sorry.
But
one thing you must learn. One thing people must learn is that your only competition is you. Your only competition is you.
I agree. And you know, I think if we had more people like a Bounty Killer, because Bounty really did a lot, and I know Beenie Man also assisted a lot of people. But what we want is a formal structure. We formalize the process. These gatekeepers should start a record label, hire the right personnel, create all the things that you need, find the acts, work with the acts. But that may not be.
It's funny that you're saying that, because in Reggae Month, when I was on some of these Zoom meetings, that's exactly what I was saying. I was saying, boy, we don't have no kind of no foundation, nothing at all for nobody. So when is that going to happen?
It is going to change. It is going to change. However,
but it is changing.
However, yeah, but it is changing. But what we need is a little bit more. What would I say now? A little bit more of an in-depth thing happening where it affects. It has to be not just protege or help two people, whoever help two people, them know. It has to be a system where, as I said to you, until we're able to look at a father who have an 8-year-old daughter, a 9-year-old daughter, and realize they're gifted, or a little son and realize they're gifted, and said, this is your next step, then we have not fixed our problem.
Right. Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Until we're able to do that, then we will always have superstars coming out of Jamaica because we're a gifted set of people. But if you want to have superstars coming out every year, like how Toyota release new car, right? You have to have a formula that is working. And the only way to have a formula that is working is to have the kids being developed from them young, right?
Agreed.
At my age, when me go to vocal training, we should have was long time. If you follow, even with football, our kids at 18, 19-year-old are supposed to play high school competition. At 18, 19-year-old, you have youths who are signed for Manchester United and make hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yes.
Right?
True.
We are behind with the structure of development. And we need to understand that Rihanna counted in Barbados as a 14-year-old. Something like that.
14,
right?
15.
Right, 14, 15, she was scouted, them bring her, them care, go develop her. By the time she was 16, she had it. Right? Now, we need to start understanding that a child, alright, one more point. Same thing I'm saying, Chronix, him father artist, right?
Yes.
Chronix's story was that him father used to always put him on the veranda with the broomstick them on the back of them and say, I perform to them, they're your crowd. That is training. That is training from him know himself. So by the time Chronix reached 19-year-old and go on stage, Chronix know for perform. Right? Chronix was already living that life. Right? So now that happened because his father was an artist. So the younger youth them who grow up around music, right? It's easier for them. But what about the people who are not exposed to that? We're losing a lot of gifted people, a lot of talented people, because there's no system to include them. So music has now become an exclusive club, and the only reason why you have so much different people come out now on social media. And if the fans them said that you tell me I listen to, you can't stop it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
So
they took out, so them take out music within my time, I see them stop the music class in a high school and all of them something there. And they never really recognize the importance. But you're right. All of these things them need for put back. Them need for put back some
Yeah, but
I don't know.
how will it
It's
happen
how
if
they're going to do
how
it
will it
now.
happen if you don't hear? How will it happen? All right, no disrespect, but me when Shaggy and Spice and do them interview the other day and say what them say, I had a lot of agreement with what they were saying. The
Right.
point is, them have to also think about their contribution to the problem, right? They all of the superstar them go all the way back contribute to the problem that we have now because all of them have the power to call what every day you hear say prime minister meet with artists or disc jockey or producer. And me never hear nothing like that come out of none of the conversation limit. It's always government to fight the answer.
Mm.
Nobody now have the insight to think about development. Government to fight the answer. Everybody's in a war with somebody else, right? Nobody now have no insight. Well, how are we going to build the kids, right?
But that's what I'm
So
saying.
the big
That's a
superstar
culture.
them- Yeah, it's a culture. So what I'm saying is this: if Shaggy, Sean Paul, and Spice will just get this big hit song and make waves by saying what them say, come out tomorrow morning and might write a tweet and say, Minister of Entertainment, Mr. Bob Range, and tag Andrew Wellness and say, why can we have a conversation about developing the young people in the arts in Jamaica? You think them not gonna listen?
I agree, but here's the thing though. I am not sure if I would want government involved in that.
No, government should not. Government should not.
That's what I'm saying. I think that
should not be
conversation,
involved, but
the conversation really should be with the business sector. That's
I
the problem that
agree.
we are
I
having.
agree. I was using government as an example, but what I'm
Okay,
saying is
right.
because I always maintain that. Remember, I said earlier, said
Yes.
we keep looking to government when it's not government responsibility to build industry.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I was making that as an example, saying we always accuss government, but we never. But even if government is not supposed to be involved, we never even had the discussion with government. So
True.
if we now have the discussion with the people
In the
that we
first
cuss
place,
every day,
that is
the
true.
people
That
that
is
we
true.
cuss every day, we're not having the discussion with them. Are we going to go into a meeting with the private sector and say, let us build something? No, we're going to meet with the private sector and say, so what is the next contract where you want me to represent the company? That's the conversation that we are having as superstars.
Right.
We don't care about nobody else.
But what is bewildering to me, because you are both making extremely valid points that I cannot argue with. What you're saying is absolutely on the money. It's correct. What I don't understand is we have produced a musical form that in a very short period of time, follow me now, produced Desmond Deck and the Ages, the first song to go platinum for us. Millie Small, right? Bob Marley and the Wailers, Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, Yellow Man, first DJ to be signed to a global record label, Shabba Ranks, Patra,
Right.
Flakes, remember your name again?
Yeah, man. Black, what name?
No, man. Girl Flakes, time to
But no, we had top of
yes,
I
right.
remember.
Leading right into a Sean Paul, into a Shaggy. Per capita for a country with 2.5 million people, we have produced more superstars, artists than North America that have 380 million people. Sure. My question is, how have we managed to do this without an industry? How is this possible?
Because we gifted. Jamaica is the most popular culture per capita on earth.
That's true.
Jamaica is the most powerful culture per capita on earth.
And that's the point I was getting to. So this now is the second part of the same question. How can the business sector see all these artists make so much money and not want to get involved?
I don't get it either.
But you know what? I have a theory.
The artists are the problem.
But let me tell you what I think. Jamaica, we may not have racism, but we have classism in its worst and most horrific form. And I think a lot of the people in the business sector look disparagingly on entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertainment is only good when them have a party and them a dance, right? Or when they're sponsoring a some fest. What I'm saying is, are you telling me that I'm a food at Issa, one of these people, a steward, cannot say, okay, let's find 10 million US dollars. Let us hire the best of the best and create a real record label and an artist management label and an artist development process. Do you know how much money these people would make? They would make insane money.
But Peter, here's the problem with it. Here's the problem with it, right? Me can't tell us that me know of nobody else, right? So until me know of anybody else, me go claim it for me. I don't know no other artist but myself will ever write a business proposal and email out to people and I try to get involved in my career. I don't know anybody else who ever write a business plan and write a proposal letter and send the people them the breakdown of everything when me I try do finances, everything, my target market, everything. I don't know nobody else but me who ever do it. Me not say it's happening.
Did you get a response?
I've gotten responses, yes. I don't have the numbers, right? I don't have the numbers, and at that point, I never have no uptown tenement yard and no Prevail at that time. But I was trying to do business the proper way, and I believed in what I was doing. So maybe if I did that, maybe if I do that now with Prevail, some crazy things happen, right? But what I'm saying is this, Peter, right? What I'm saying is this. Right, we have quite a few mega superstars in Jamaica.
I think
right?
So.
We have quite a few mega superstars in Jamaica, and quite a few of these people knock shoulders and party and reason and talk every day with the same big business people that we refer to. Now, the fact that nothing that we've talked about here is happening means that there is something going wrong with the relationship between the business people them and the artists them. Now, with that, the business people them, right, don't want to get involved in music to make money, which everybody knows that music make money. Think about it. Why would a businessman not want to get involved in something that makes money?
But I'm telling you, the same reason why my friend who was a bank manager called me about an artist who was making crazy money, because they don't have a real perception of what this is.
But whose fault is that? I not blame them for that.
Yeah.
I cannot blame them for that, Peter. I am not in this thing of playing victim. All right, me have my friend a musician, right? Me know about business. Me look on all of my friends. Me say if you play a keyboard, right, and your name is John Brown, go register a business name John Brown Keys, right? If you play drums, and your name Mike Richards, go register a business name Mike Richards Drum, right? Go register a business name. The thing connected to your TRN, you go to the bank, them have to create a business bank account for you, right? Every time you play the drum and collect $5 a care, go put it in your business bank account. You think after that you go down the field and them not give them half a gear and you run a business. So now the fact is, yes, we are not educated enough, right? Because not everybody knows the type of stuff we are talking about. Right?
Exactly.
Not everybody knows the type of thing that we are talking about. However, we cannot continue to play victim. We have to make these people want to be a part of what we are doing. We have to start. We are playing victim. Me can't look and bootstrap people them and I say, oh no, come invest some money in music when you have millionaire artists there. We can
do the same.
If three or four our biggest artists them can easily jump together and put $1 million US in a start in a solid record label in Jamaica. And them can take the ownership and making money off it, the best executives and develop some artists and make some mega star and collect millions of dollars. We have people with the money and the clout and the power and the connections to do it. We need to stop looking to everybody else and start doing it ourselves. And then they will come on board when they realize that we have something that makes sense. We need to stop.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point.
This is what I observed. What I observed is that I know a particular artist who was struggling, right? We can't call the name, and the artist invest a little money with them after themselves. And I remember that artist said something to me. The artist said, all the persons who have invested in my career to the point where I'm at now, because this person is a huge artist. Him said not one of them was a Jamaican. Not one. Him said the first set of youth them come from Africa, then some man up Germany, then some man in a Paris, then some man in a New York. Not him said not one. Him couldn't get a Jamaican to spend $10 on him. All the monies invested were foreigners, and it's the same thing. Let's face it. That's what happened with Bob Marley. That's what happened with Jimmy. That's what happened with most of these people. That's what with Sean. Shaggy may have been a little different. And no, Shaggy was signed to Virgin from young.
Right,
so no. So it could simply just be, I don't know. It's like I said, I see progress because I'm seeing younger artists signing other artists. It might just be a mindset. It just might be how we see the world. Because listen, I don't know if you all know this, but there was a time when no corporation would invest in a song fest, right? Or in a stage show. And I know most of the sponsors are corporations, whether it be Digicel or wherever. So I'm seeing the progress, but maybe the progress is not happening fast enough because we are still having artists fall through the cracks. And one artist, as you know, Carey, one artist can feed a village. One artist doing well in a community can feed the whole community. Just like our annual stage show can build house of people who sell peanut. May I tell you that? So
right,
I am hoping that we are all wrong. I am hoping that somebody can hear this and say, how will Carey James and Althea and Peter like that? The man in the system is just about to invest $1 million US in a record label because it is really embarrassing. Jamaica really don't have a record label. How is this possible?
The part that is hurting me, if you hear me, I always go back to the one thing, is that the same artists them what you talk about who are more foreign, the money they have to come from to invest in them. Them have the money can do what was not done for them. No. They have the money now and the power that they can do it. And they, as a matter of fact, some of these artists are so big, them not even need to use their own money. Them can get investors like this.
Mm-hmm.
Them can get sponsorship and investors like this. Them can start it as a charity and get sponsorship. And that's how we are going to develop some people, right? The level where Shaggy got on with the Buster Man thing, it's hard to really put nothing else on Shaggy. But that should be a guide for all of the other superstars them to know say a man can raise $1 million US.
Mm-hmm.
A man can raise $100 million to put in the thing. And the fact is, right? If he could do that for the hospital, right? Suppose you link the private sector and say this is what we need to really and truly make something out of Jamaican music. And you get a good lawyer. All you need is a good lawyer for a reason. With that, you put together some proposals and some contract and everybody sign them things. Everybody know them and get back out time. What I'm saying, Peter, is this: we have enough superstars who are powerful enough to do it. And I think the problem now is not about opportunity. It's about that thing where I never been in the business with nobody.
It's about the psyche. It's about the psyche. It's about changing the psyche.
Listen. Let me explain something to you. You have to understand that a lot of these artists, as we were talking earlier, they don't see how they would fit into that. A lot of them too, and it's not as I want me to talk for them, but I think we are, as Peter said, we start getting there slowly but surely, where people are understanding that we need to get this information to the generation, and we need to build our little ones. We need to focus on the little ones, then, because guess what? Too much talent. That as I said, people are fall through the cracks. You have a lot of artists there, but some of them don't really care about what we're saying, and some care, but them probably not will want to get involved in them something there, and I try, you have
Well,
people like that. So you have
let me
to,
say this.
I just like go.
Let me say this, Queen Althea. In a country that has produced the most exciting form of music, a form of music that became hip hop via Cool Herc in 1979 in New York, a Jamaican who created hip hop. A kind of music that Sly Dunbar created reggaeton, Fax, a kind of music that in the last 8 years of pop music, they now call it Caribbean pop, which are Jamaican dancehall, straight. A kind of music that we have had more influence globally, musically than any other. We can't think of nobody else that has had the impact we have had. We have a ward theatre and a liquor theatre, and we still don't have a proper music venue. We don't have a music venue in Jamaica. How is that possible?
Ward theatre and liquor theatre are colonial.
But that's what I'm saying. How can we be this successful and we don't have a venue? Every venue we have, we're going to wake up somebody asleep in their bed. Because we have a proper, large, whole 5,000, 10,000 soundproof venue. How is this possible? So I think, we're looking at many, many factors. I think the very fact that we're able to even have this conversation is a wonderful thing. And like I said, I'm seeing progress, but it's just really not happening at the speed at which I would have liked to have seen it. And really the purpose of what we're doing here is to document the stories of artists like yourselves, your thoughts, how you see the world. And hopefully others will come along and consume this and learn from it. We don't lack talent here. We don't lack talent. We are a beautiful people physically, beautiful people mentally, spiritually, artistically. We're just a remarkable group of people. I keep telling people the first time I performed at My Fest in Germany, which is 290,000 people, I was one of the headliners. And I remember when I ran out, I see all the white ras them with the bubble them straight on us up. I say, look at the influence of our culture.
Look how far it reached, huh?
Look. I know people in Germany and France, when I talk to them, I can't speak English. I say, yo, my brother, what going, everything good? And I say, yes, sire, everything article. That is the power. But I still think we have not yet gotten to the point where we realize tourism is our gold mine. Our talent and culture is our gold mine. Let me tell you something that I might not know. If you go to Florida and you want to use, I don't want to be incorrect. If you want to use is it the Jamaican flag or some Jamaican memorabilia, the person who owns the copyright for that is not Jamaican. If you go to I think it's Japan and you try to do pan chicken, the person who owns the copyright for that is a Japanese man.
Wow.
So that should tell you everything. We're not ready for this yet. We're not ready for the video light. For every dollar that our artists are earning, years ago I said to Shaggy, this is years ago. I said, you have a Shaggy, at the height of his popularity. I said, Shaggy, you don't have a brand. You don't have a brand, you're Shaggy. So to me, maybe I am too forward thinking. Maybe I'm not understanding the process properly, and hopefully somebody will be here one day to explain it to me. But how can we be one of the most popular forms of music and we still do not have, right, something as simple? We do not have a proper music venue. You don't realize that? Jamaica don't have a music venue. Because arena, when you put on anything in arena, the sound bounce everywhere. That's not really designed.
That's true.
For that.
That's
the
true.
stadium is designed for that. We don't have a music venue.
Sadly, the issue has been talked about for years, because I know myself, this conversation I talk about the venue. And the fact is, once more, everybody looking to the government to do it.
That's not the government responsibility.
And I keep saying it's not the government problem to build no venue to be performed. And everybody the government to build it, and the government is not going to build it. I always say, may I always say it, the government is not, the government can easily say, well, we know where the money from the hotel them are because we get taxed out of tourism, we get taxed on cruise ship, we get taxed on this, we get taxed on that. We know where the money they go. Right? We can say tourism enhancement fund or Jamaica Tourist Board that's the X amount of money every year. We can understand the maths there. The government always have to take them on Range Rover or take them on Benz or seize man house to get some money out of the artist them as tax. So we are not a profitable business venture for the government, and the government uses tax to make their money. So if we're not a good investment, why will they invest? Right? Them create them registry. And when them create them registry, most people say them not sign it because of one thing. Government want to trap them if you can tax them.
Trap them for find them.
Right? So enough big man, I mean, me talk about big man, so them tell me straight forward, them can't tax me, yeah.
I've heard that a lot too.
Right, so no man not join it, right? And then we go right back and say government need to do this and government need to do that. The government not with nothing.
But this is what I'm saying. What I am saying to add to everything you're saying is, I don't want the government to do those things.
Me agree. Me don't want to see that.
We don't want the government involved in that. You understand?
And the private sector is not going to do it because, Peter, me know you know this, right? Me know you know this. You know this way longer than people like me, and me know this. Majority of private sector companies, and by extension international companies, record labels, and all of them major brands have one major problem with Jamaican artists. Nobody not even like call with phone, call with an onsite. Or them call with 1, 2 o'clock in the day, I'm just awake, shut back, we come up.
Or if them call, I want to know the number.
Right. Right? So next thing is that, well, nobody have any issue with marijuana and with drinking. If we're not fresh, we can't write a song. We think just not marketable. We just need to understand. So we are not packaged as a product yet, and we need to create a product out of our thing before we get investment.
Well, there's so much angles, so much things we can talk about.
I keep saying the only people who can take responsibility for what is happening with our music is the producer them and the artist.
Yes,
nobody.
I agree.
Until we look into ourselves, nothing will change.
Yeah, but valid one there, so I endorse that. For real.
I agree. I mean, Althea knows this, and you're going to know this, Carey, when you start touring. When we go to Europe, the top acts are not Jamaicans. May I tell you that?
I know it already because I work with some. Everybody when me work with are Europeans or Americans. Okay. No support structure,
and yes, when you go West Coast America, is the white reggae artists that dominate.
Right.
And their albums are selling 3, 4, 5, 600,000. Our album I sell 500 copies. So we are really doing something on.
I went to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, West Coast, right beside California. And me, I'm not gonna say me nobody when I expect nobody over there to know. And people just meet me and hear one song or 2 songs and get excited. Wow. And what I learned is that there's really no presence from us over there. And can I tell you something that I was told? One of the men I seen in that music video, right, is a man who used to be a reggae promoter in Las Vegas. And the man said, Carey, let me tell you one thing. I came out of the business because of one reason. Every time we try to book a Jamaican, we get scammed. Because there is no company or there is no point of contact in Jamaica for us to reach out to book the people then. So every time we are trying to message at Instagram or send an email or somebody say, yeah man, I send the money and then nothing happens. Man saying couldn't do it no more.
I've heard that story all over the world. I've heard it in England, I've heard it in Europe, I've heard it in the US. it is sad. Anyway, we've been here for a minute, a little longer than we anticipated. But good conversation and good company. That's what it's all about. I want to thank everybody who dropped by. I see Nadira X, Deidre Wright, Jarrett, big up yourself. My brother Sid Saltwater Office, King Kali, Ace. It's great to see you here, and all the other amazing people who stopped by to show us strength and love. This is Jamaica Celebrity Talk, where we talk the things them. I say Glasses Kingdom. What, my brother? Yo! What? TR. We don't invest in quality musicians, producers, engineers, and equipment. One of the above is always missing. That is very, 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 very true, my boss. But, I need, like, my brother, I want you on this show now. But I've been building up the courage. Like I have to build up the courage for us, Althea and Carey.
Who that TR?
Yeah, yes.
Big up yourself, TR, man. Big up.
You are multifaceted, and I would like to interview you. Young Wiz said, Carey, big up yourself. What I like about these conversations is we get to hear your truth, your history, and then when we do this segment, we get to hear your inner thoughts. I know that everything that was said here is said out of love, because all of us, we love the business that we are in. We love the people who are in the business that we are in. And like I said, my dream is that we all make a crap load of money. So everybody get their fair share, including the government. And we have persons investing in what we are doing in a real and positive way. So I would like again to say thank you very, very much to the King Carey James for passing through, the man who say we don't believe in failure. Right? People go check out his new track, Prevail, and you should also
send a link in the chat.
Yes, please drop it. Althea Hewitt, one of my most favorite artists, singer, songwriter, one of the best live performers in the game, may I tell you. Just awesome. Studio engineer, backing vocalist, and she just entered the Jamaica Song Contest. What's the name of the song again, Althea?
Name Jamaica Nice.
Jamaica Nice. Go check it out. Stream the music of the artist here. Go stream the Carey James. Stream Althea Hewitt, and then make sure you go stream Peter Lloyd World. Go stream the music.
Everybody.
I seriously speaking though, I love all of you. You guys are remarkable. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel Peter Lloyd World. We'll be back next Saturday, same time, 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, or 5:30 p.m. Pacific, right here. Glasses Kingdom, big up yourself. Good to see you, my brother. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Nadira X, I love you. I love you. And mad love and mad support to the great Carey James. Mad love and mad support to the great Queen Althea Hewitt. My name is Peter Lloyd. Thank you guys so very much. People, this was supposed to be 1 hour here.
A nice meeting you, Carey. I'm gonna go check out your stuff.
Same to you.
All right, then, Peter. Thanks again, Peter. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Young Wiz, big up yourself. Deidre, big up yourself. Sid, big up yourself. Nadira, big up yourself. Glasses Kingdom, we love you. Big up yourself, Lion. Heart of love.